The Enduro class on track, getting ready. This is heat race number 2 as we get ready to go. 7 cars ready for 8 laps of heat race action. And we welcome you in as we get ready for the big finale. Now, first off, we want to send out an apology. We had the first race gearing up, and we had some technical difficulties slam us. Those have been resolved, so thanks for hanging in there with us. As we should be good to go now for the rest. You gotta imagine that there's going to be at least one snafu here this weekend. All the gremlins are gonna show up because the spirits are gonna do everything they can to keep us from leaving here, and I don't mind it. You know, if that means we're gonna drag things on a little bit longer, I'm okay with it. But again, apologies for that. Jordan Mass picking up the win in the first heat race for the Enduro class. Heat race number 2, this is only the second race of the night. It was a very clean and calm one. We'll see if it stays that way as we continue on all night long. I'm Jeffrey Best. I'll soon be joined with Tommy Mason as we bringing you the racing here from Irwindale Speedway, much like we've done for many, many years. And this is a spot that we're standing in that we're certainly gonna miss. Moving towards the future. 2024 going to be it for Irwindale Speedway. This weekend is going to be it for this racetrack. And Bori Molina in that number 71. We know that this car is fast. We also know that this car has a tendency to, quote, run out of gas a lot. Tonight, I should say this weekend, I don't think that's going to be happening. I think everybody fit that extra cylinder into their 4 cylinders. I don't think anyone, I don't even know, like, I genuinely wonder how much people are going to be following the rules. Now, I know that the drivers hear me in the pit area right now, hearing me say that, and they're like, no, we're innocent. But come on, it's the last weekend at Irwindale Speedway. Push it a little bit. Now I'm going to be the one in trouble because I'm encouraging bad behavior. But if people haven't figured that out from Low Budget TV at this point, guess what? It ain't stopping. So earlier tonight, as things are pretty single file right now, we do have a good battle for third. Let's take a look at that. 68, Santiago Lopez leading the way there over the 42 of Spagnola and Lalani Sprinkle in the 03. Now we're going to be all night long bringing you not just the racing action, but also interviews of each heat race winner as things get close, and we've got to spin into turn number 3. And of course, it is the 03 bringing out the first caution of our heat races tonight. But it's not the first incident that we've had. Now, we have a lot of cars on property, we've had a lot of practice sessions, and we have had our qualifying sessions take place. Now, those pushed us a little bit further into the night than we anticipated starting, but who cares? It's the last weekend. We are, I'm just gonna say it, we're freeballing it. All right, the 03 going for the spin into turn number 3. Lalani Sprinkle with the spin. Take a look at another replay here. Now, Lalani was trying to make a move to the inside of Spagnola, and Spagnola said, you can, but you shouldn't. So, around went the 03. Now, there is nothing quite like the start of a racing event, and especially when it's just calm and clean sails, Tom.
3 hours of practice,
yeah.
And then...
I mean, I sat here and watched what happened, and I was just like, well, okay, it's going to be one of those weekends.
Better to get it out of the way now.
Yeah, no, we are...
And now Sprinkle, I just want to point this out. These are heat races. They are setting up the field for tomorrow's starting grid. And thankfully... they're having a little bit of a scoring issue as well. So for those of you wondering, where's our scoring ticker? Well, we're ready.
We're your scoring ticker.
Yeah.
For right now.
We're going to vocalize right now. But anyways, so Sprinkle, I believe we were near that halfway point in the race. So not all the way to the back just yet.
Now we're going to go green here, but I do want to relay as we get ready for the restart. Jordan Mast won the first heat race in the number 69.
In dominating fashion.
It wasn't even close. And on top of that victory, Jordan was interviewed, thanked the sponsors, thanked the crew, and also pointed out until Wednesday of this week, they weren't planning on coming out. So they decided, you know what, let's do it. Let's make the trek down. We appreciate them coming out, as well as all the competitors.
White flag is out. I don't mean to cut in, but I screwed up.
Yeah.
I thought that was halfway. It wasn't. So Sprinkle now was able to pass one car and lose a whole lot of spots. Bori Molina goes into turn number 3 and 4, your leader, and will be starting near the front tomorrow night in the Enduro race.
It'll be Bobby Osman in second. Oh boy, they're deciding around the barrier right now.
It's like the Joker lap.
Lopez Spagnola. And then the 29 bringing it home in the 5th position with Sprinkle. Steinsdorfer. And I have James Bolinas listed, but he wasn't here. I think he just wanted to be included. I say he's not here. He's here, but he wasn't in this heat race. All right, now you get to see all the fun stuff we have going on, because not only do we have this portion of things, but Tommy, we are also bringing you full coverage. We got Stephen Blakesley in the house. He's joining us. He had a little bit of a drive to get down here.
He had a drive for sure.
Not as bad as my drive today, but...
No. He only came from Sacramento area.
And he is going to have a chat with our winner, Bori Molina, meeting up with Stephen Blakesley. Stephen, you got the driver coming on up to you. How is it down there? Looks cold.
He's got his jacket, yeah.
Well, down here with Bori Molina picking up the win in the second heat race for the Enduros. And Bori, I got to ask you, it's got to feel really good when you can hold off Bobby Osman like that on a restart and get the win.
Well, I don't know if you can hear me, but this GTS holds the record since 2018. And pound for pound, this is the best car. With the rules, they changed some rules, and it was a little bit better for him because he had more horsepower. But we're letting spreading our wings a little bit this weekend, and it's back to its best form right now.
Well, good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Man, guys, that was a great win there to hold off Bobby Osman on a green-white checker finish here for Bori Molina.
Yeah, thanks, Stephen. And what did I suggest during this race? Well, maybe some people are going to be behaving. Spread your wings, Tommy. What does it mean to spread your wings?
It means to go and I don't know what it is.
Is it brave to mention that tonight, or should you wait to mention it tomorrow?
Maybe tomorrow. Yeah.
After you already headed home with the trophy, you don't have to worry about them saying, "Well, then you can't race next year."
Right. And you don't want to go home on the wrecker, and you don't want to go home with a disqualification on your final night. But you do want to push the rules because it's not going to affect anything but anything.
Now, I want to be, and it's going to happen. This whole weekend we're going to be very candid. There's going to be a lot of emotions that we're going to probably all be going throughout this week. And Tommy, you and I grew up at this racetrack in 1999. We were sitting there in turn number 4 watching, the stock cars taking on this half mile for the first time. And I do wonder, tonight I'm sitting here going, man, we are geared up for a great night of racing.
Right.
I'm curious where the emotion's going to go as we creep closer to that last race on Saturday night.
I was kind of mentioning the same thing about an hour ago. Was people were like, well, how do you feel? And my answer was, it hasn't hit me yet. I think it'll hit me maybe on the drive home or maybe next week or down the road. But right now I'm so excited for this big event in December.
Right.
We are less than a week away from Christmas and we're racing.
Right. Not to mention, we went from having 2 7-car heat races to what looks to be 1 2-car heat race.
That's true. So these are the So this heat race, by the way, these are the stragglers of the Enduro class, the 4-cylinder. And the reason why is these two did not make a lap in the hot lap session, which were the times that they used to line up the heats.
Okay.
So whoever finishes better than who are going to finish, or who are going to start probably 15th and 16th.
I love this. What I love
You can't advance from this up to the front row. And so this is your penalty box.
But what I love is that we're treating this like the weekend it should be treated as. We're not saying, hey, you didn't make a lap, so technically... There's no technicallys this weekend.
No.
We don't care.
Yeah.
We have cars to race. We have guys that bought their pit passes to race?
Everybody's going to turn laps.
Where's the other Azalina? Are they showing up tomorrow?
I think the pace car should race.
I do too. Well, there's Devin Azalina in the 5, the 01 of Jasper Drangler. We have a 2-car. I mean, this is, what do you even want to call this? A drag race in a circle?
It's a grudge match.
Oh.
Well, Jasper's out to the lead.
He is spreading his wings just like Bori Molina.
So, but Jasper sideways. So of this race, for the ones that are watching from home and the ones that are in the pits are watching from the grandstands from the pit area, waiting for their heat races, this is quite literally the battle for who's not going to start at the tail of the field.
I love it.
Uh-huh. Either the stragglers, either the ones that were probably working today. But we got a good heat race. This has been the closest one we've seen.
Yeah, no, I mean, go figure, right? Car counts don't always make for the best races.
I want to point out, since we have seen some... Oh, wait, we got another one.
Oh, now the game is on.
But
what I like is, why is Bobby Osmond said, is that... Okay, what's going on here? Back straight away, we just had figure 8 racing action take place. Now, that car's already raced. That's why I'm confused.
And nobody knows.
I love it.
But this is the battle for last.
This is why we're going to have like 8 cameras tomorrow.
Yeah.
For this show. Martini is the 48, and he's the one who apparently is pulled out on the track.
I'm assuming
that
we've got figure 8 heat races next.
But Martini is now racing. I don't know what's going on, Tommy.
They did a driver swap. Here's what we do know. These 2 cars are on the right side of the screen. There's Martini, by the way.
There's Martini.
Elizabeth given the due diligence.
You don't have to worry about that car, Elizabeth. That's
So this is the battle for who's not going to start at the last spot.
This is prestige.
This is
more important than who starts on the front row.
They have the pole shuffle in dirt racing, and this is not the pole shuffle.
Now, do you think Azalina's playing the game right now?
Saving tires?
Trying to figure out what lap they're on?
Maybe.
Saving fuel?
What I love about this whole night so far is that we've broken everything. Because we typically a Friday night at Irwindale Speedway is a practice session. But we're deciding to do heats.
Yeah.
And here we are.
You're not kidding. White flag is in the air. Jasper Drangler.
Oh, Jasper sideways. Hang on.
That's my favorite car so far of the night.
I think
race.
You think he's e-braking it through the track?
But on the straightaway, yes, I do. I just don't know why.
I think this thing is just loose.
I'm not complaining, though. I think that might be a dirt car.
Yeah, I like it. Well, the dirt car will beat the regular here at Irwindale Speedway. So Jasper Drangler will not start at the back of the pack, and he will get an interview with Stephen Blake.
Now, wait a minute. What is that car? Elizabeth, if you can, get a shot of the car pulling out on the back straightaway right now.
These are figure 8 cars getting lined up.
Are those figure 8 cars lining up?
That's the Labrosiano. Big Daddy.
Wow, they really made them go back to back. I love it. Very good.
I can see why Martini was a little confused until he probably saw that they were running.
I love that he started to do the figure 8. All right, thank you, Elizabeth. Shout out, by the way, to our crew, Tommy. Not just us and Steven, but we also got Elizabeth up top freezing herself. Oh, my. Okay. That scared me. That legitimately scared me. The Easter Bunny was behind
Stephen Blakesley scared
you? No. I'll have to show you later.
DJ with the wireless, Stephen Blakesley with Victory Lane with Jasper Drangler.
What's the Easter Bunny here?
Well, down here with Jasper Spangler, who just did an absolute dirt track move on the white flag there in the white 01 with the very fancy duct tape numbers on the 01 here. And what was going through your mind when you're sideways in the lead on the final lap?
It's the first time ever driving this car on asphalt, and I have no clue what I'm doing, so just trying to have fun. Went and grabbed these tires from the junkyard because I didn't like the tires I showed up at the track with, so I'm learning this car as much as it's learning me.
Well, you got a big main event tomorrow. What do you think your outlook is for that?
Don't hit anything, finish the race, and have fun.
Well, that sounds like a good plan, right, boys? Good run here for Jasper Spangler.
Absolutely. A nice, clean race. When I thought a few times that car was going to spin it out, but Jasper is a wheel man.
But it's this Drangler.
Yeah, I don't know where. I mean,
it's right there.
Maybe it says Spangler on the car, and on our scoring it's not. Maybe it's opposite.
Yeah, I need to paint the picture here because I'm sure people. Well, you're going to be confused anytime you watch low budget TV and have to listen to us, but. Corey, who's working the audio here this weekend, I turn around and the Easter Bunny is staring me down.
Yes.
Where did that thing come from?
It appeared. I don't know.
There's an Easter Bunny mask.
I think that was a failed attempt of the Burnout Bunny.
Oh.
Instead
That's
of the
a good
Burnout
name,
Bandit.
though. I like that. Yeah. I do like that.
TJ's also giving us a shots there on pit road.
Shout out.
So he's camped over there on track exit. So we got a hard-working crew here tonight. Jeff, you and I working the microphones like we shouldn't?
Yeah, I came from the holiday party at my work to brave the traffic, which actually worked with me. I thought it was going to be worse than it was, so thankfully it wasn't. And yeah, we are gearing up for the next. Now, there might be moments, some lulls, but Tommy, what do you got here?
Well, we got the end of the race that we were missing. Jordan Mass.
That's Jordan Mass.
So there's his big lead that we talked about.
Yeah, so if you're a Jordan Mass fan, just know your boy dominated.
Martini there in the second spot. Gardner against Robert Rice there, 76 in the 7. And AJ Hinsala from the Las Vegas Bull Ring coming out here to race.
Love it.
So this is what you missed, but we were getting all back on track.
The other thing that took place in this race, Mike McIntyre was running in the second position and appeared to have a mechanical issue of some sort. So he did not finish the race. He was pushed off the track. Now, Tommy, now we gear up for the next of our heat races. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I will tell you.
It's moved from the time they printed it.
And I was going to say, all we know is every race is 8 laps. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
From there, we ride. But as we get these cars kind of up to speed and warmed up, do you want to fill us in a little bit on other things that have taken place today? You mentioned a couple tire marks on the wall.
Yeah, there's a tire mark on the wall. Doug McComb brought that car back out of retirement, and a super late model, I should say. And he, during his hot lap / time setting for the heat races just an hour ago, slid up and got into the wall and knocked the rear end housing out of it, meaning it's all skewed. He had rear steer when he shouldn't have. He didn't hit the wall hard per se, but he definitely hit it hard enough to mess up the rear end suspension. So they're likely hard at work for the super late models, and hopefully they can make it out. If not, I mean, they've got all night for tomorrow's main events. It's not like he's going to be told to go home. It's just that he won't have a chance to race for a starting position.
Right. His risk would be more so if he was running in one of our classes that have a ton of cars. We have a heck of a turnout for legend cars and pro late models. We have a ton of those cars, and what we're hearing is that B mains are looming for those, because
Yes.
as much as we probably wouldn't mind to do our throwback to the Toyota All-Star Showdown where we just waved the green flag. Speaking of waving the green flag,
Well,
we're given the one to go right now, and everyone's kind of getting on board with this. Joe Labrosiano, he's the white number 95. The 7, that's Robert Rice. And then you got the 76 of Ryder Gardner down there. I had mentioned Daniel Azzolina, by the way, and at some point it appears that his car has clicked by the starting loop based off of my timing and scoring. He's very sneaky if he did that. But
it's pretty sneaky.
But we anticipate Daniel to be racing here this weekend. Brother to the number 5 that was just on track, racing it up a minute ago. Well, Tommy, this has been one of those things that I don't know if a lot of people know this, but when Irwindale Speedway was initially designed and started, the figure 8 track
Didn't exist.
it was not part of the configuration.
The driver of the black number 7, Robert Rice, who takes the lead from the whole shot, he convinced Bob DeFazio and his management early days of Irwindale Speedway that you need to do some figure 8 racing at the least, on top of some demo derbies and whatnot, but at least do some figure 8 racing, because at that time it was all professional street stock late model style racing. They didn't want to tear up the track. There was a pristine short track, and they did not want any goofy racing on it. Well, Finally, Robert Rice got his wish, and there's one thing that's always been a tradition since figure eight racing, and they've always painted that X.
Yep. We've seen some big outlaw figure eight races take place here. We've seen some big names that raced figure eight races out here. TV personality Jesse James was one of the drivers who used to race out here in his 666.
Yep.
And it was funny because Jesse, when he raced out here, it felt like the crowd either you loved him or you hated him.
And that was all during the Monster Garage TV series time, right? So yeah, you had the lovers and the haters, but the excitement of Jesse James being here, he went to Indianapolis to buy an outlaw figure eight car where the home of figure eight racing is, and brought it back here, which then it created a couple 60 minutes or 100 lap figure eight races for the outlaw cars, which some of those Indianapolis and Kentucky drivers made their way out here. So we've had some major figure eight races.
We have. So that's been fun. It's been a while since we've seen the outlaw figure eight cars racing on this track, but the Enduro cars have been racing on it. Tommy, you and I, we've done some figure eight racing with these style of cars.
We've done figure eight racing when it wasn't figure eight.
Yeah, when
it was an oval race and we were still doing
kind of like Martini earlier.
Exactly.
We did a lot of things we weren't supposed to do. Joe Labrosiano's got a huge lead, but let's look at the battle for second. The number 7.
Frame. Yep, coming into frame now.
Now, this is kind of what we saw coming down to the end of the Enduro Championship for the stock class. Robert Rice got it in a tie with Ryder Gardner. And do you think now Ryder's like, I should have turned him?
Yes, I think so.
now that you know.
Too late now. The stats in the history book are in. But
familial ties there. So
yeah.
Maybe they're not. I don't know. Ryder's slow.
Yeah, I was going to say Ryder's either struggling or he's going to play with that intersection.
I mean, we are live here on Low Budget TV, Track Vision.
Yep.
And boy, has it been a lot of fun.
Let's see, intersection action, white flag waves.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
This is why we like Ryder.
Ryder knows to put on a show. If you can't win the race, win the excitement.
Could you imagine if what we find out that he's doing is he's actually trying to help Robert win the race? And he actually just like obliterates the 95 for the heat race victory? Joe Labrosiano, wow, we've got, so he's going to work. This is going to be fun. Look at this.
Whoa, yeah. Big Daddy in the house takes the win.
All 3 of our cars were in that shot.
Yep.
In this race. Now he wins. Now I feel like Joe's not done.
No, he's going to make sure. Oh,
Ryder's aiming.
Kicking up the dust on a pavement track.
So we're going to hear from Big Daddy Joe Labrosiano.
Always fun to have some excitement.
Joe's been very nice over the years.
Yeah.
He's thrown our Low Budget TV logo up on his car a few times. See that Labroco Moto on the side of that number 95. And as the rest of the field makes their way off of the track, let's see if, there we go. See everyone?
Big Daddy, stop.
Stop, Big Daddy. He's like, what'd I do? What's wrong?
He's penalized. He gets the interview.
Well, Joe Labrosiano, that was a close call at the finish there. How does it feel to win that heat race?
It feels good. You know, Ryder and Robert, my partners, man, I love those guys. So having fun out there. I knew, you know, we cut close, and I'm not gonna hit my buddy. So
Anybody you want to thank?
oh man, everybody, Tim, the Huddleston family, Tommy and Jeffrey, my wife, Natalie, Lisa, and the Robert Rice crew, everybody.
Well, a great run there in the heat race for Joe Labrosiano. And guys, this car is pretty. This is almost too pretty of a car to be in a figure eight. Back up to you.
Thanks, Steven. We're going to have heat race number 2 coming up for the figure eights, and they will be up next. There we go. So our next field of competitors, figure 8 racers on track. Now, I won't be surprised. I'm just going to throw this out there, but we do have a whole bunch of Enduro cars that are racing here. And I won't be surprised if we see a number of those Enduro cars make their way into the figure 8 race later on Saturday night. And if you don't, I'm just saying this, and I'm saying it to where everyone in the pit area can hear me. If you do not run your Enduro car in the figure 8 race, we're all calling you chicken. All right? You got one last chance to prove you're not chicken. There, I said it. All right. Same with Pro Late models. If you're not in the figure 8 race, then what the heck? Even though your race is after, whatever. All right, Bobby Osmond, Bruce Martini, Devin Azzolina. Those are our 3 competitors ready to go for the figure 8 race. See, I can call them out because I did the figure 8s. I was terrible, but I still did it. I'm going to get jumped before I leave here tonight, but that's okay. Might as well be jumped at Irwindale Speedway. Oh, yeah. All right, it'll be lights off here as the pace car leads the field to the line. There's that faded start-finish line. This served us well over these many years of figure 8 racing. And at times you may notice some other knickknacks around the track. If you're newer to our Low Budget TV broadcast here, or Track Vision broadcast at here at Irwindale Speedway, we do a lot of stuff throughout the night, including a car burn. That is why there is a car up on a pedestal in the infield. So just to explain that one and what exactly is going on there, we're going to be melting that car down for one last car burn here at Irwindale Speedway. Green flag. Martini sideways into the first corner. Bobby Osmond takes the lead. Now Martini going to dive to the inside. Now we usually have corner tires up here, but because we don't, you see that these drivers are getting a little bit more take rather than give on how early they're cutting that corner. Osmond didn't even turn. That's very different. Azzolina didn't even turn. This is the weirdest figure 8 race I've ever seen. Bruce Martini is looking really good right now. I don't know if Azzolina followed Osmond off thinking like, oh, I guess we're done. But Martini is the only one doing it right. The 2 cars have pulled off the track. At least poor Bruce Martini all by himself. Now, the worry here is why both of these cars pulled off the track. I'm hoping that not both of them. Azzolina, you can still race. They're still racing. You can pull back on the track if you want. We won't blame you. We'd love you. Bruce Martini feels so lonely out there. All right. I guess they're content. They're saving their tires for the main event tomorrow. That's what a very prestigious figure 8 race. So Martini going to be the one car that I think is going to win this race. I'm going to be very curious to hear from Steven about when he talks to Martini about his the different approaches he took to this race in the later stages, if he saved his equipment. Tommy's missing a heck of a barn burner right now. I know you're watching, but checkered flag. Your winner, Bruce Martini, and the number 48. Incredible photo finish. Well, hey, if everyone else wants to park, then Martini gets to get his own interview. He's not complaining. He's like, all right. So we'll get that 48 pulled up to Stephen Blakesley for the winning interview. The one car to finish this heat race.
Okay, so Bruce Martini, I'll make this really simple. How many plates of the Pinnacle Peak food are you about to eat after getting the win?
Just one.
Just one. You had time to think about how good that food is because you were all by yourself.
Yes, I was. I'm not sure what happened there.
All worked out well for you. Good luck tomorrow night.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Yep, so Bruce Martini, guys, he's going to go chow down now.
That was a good question, Steven. I didn't know what you were going to ask, but that gave us the insight that we were looking for. As we gear up for our next set of heat races, I see a legend car in the back. I see a stock car in the back. I know that the schedule's adjusted a little bit, so whatever pulls out next is going to be racing next. And I'm excited to find out just like the rest of you. It's Friday night racing here at Irwindale Speedway, the finale from Irwindale. Oh, man, we've got the spider web of cables up here, and I am caught in its web. But we also have Tommy's, I don't know what Tommy's doing. Tommy's got a flashlight, and he's doing maintenance. But that works for us. But we also have a special guest that's joining us up here, and I guess now I get to find out if everything's working. Hello, Dean Thompson.
How are you?
Oh my gosh, it's working. Corey, A+ job. So real quick, there's a bit of a note. We are right now seeing if we could get an update on one of our drivers who had an issue late in the qualifying session. That was Trevor Huddleston. Dean, you're familiar with the Huddleston cars. You used to race in one of those blue machines. And Tommy, you're pointing.
Just watch the computer.
Nah, I don't pay attention. Dean, do you pay good attention?
I tried to. I got ADHD though.
Dude, you're in the right booth then. So I guess first things first, I'm going to kind of keep an eye on this one and see if we ever hear anything from down below.
The microphone works back here, right?
Yeah, the microphone is there. Hi, Steven.
Yeah, so we're going to try to get over here and grab Trevor Huddleston. If we lose you, we'll just walk closer because we knew it worked. Hey, Trevor Huddleston, there to you. We just lost a late model go by and we'll scoot over a bit.
There you
Hollywood,
go.
Right? Here, we'll stay here. Trevor Huddleston, what happened to the late model?
First, I want.
Oh, no.
On the edge. We're just on the edge of disaster here.
What I love is that we're pushing it right now.
Shout out to Ritz. I don't even know if we're on yet. Okay, cool. Because I'm chewing them right now, so maybe they'll sponsor me. But unfortunately, break up, and we don't know what happened. One of those deals, so we're going to fix it up. Actually, I think it's already fixed because High Point Racing's the bomb. And we're going to get back out there, start in the back. But we have a chance to start in the top 4. I don't know where we're starting at as far as which heat race, but it's going to be really exciting.
Now, how's the ARCA car?
Oh, the ARCA car is on rails. Maybe Ritz will sponsor my ARCA car because that one is really fast.
Well, you're fishing. We'll see if it works. Good luck tonight.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks to everybody for watching at home, and excited to see all the fans out here tomorrow.
All right, that's and he's eating a Rit, but there are a lot of people down here already chowing down on some of the track food. So if you keep making me do these assignments, you may lose me to the talk here.
Well, I do know. Thank you, Stephen. That was a good attempt. That was a good attempt.
It was a good try.
The antennas somehow reached enough to break up whenever Trevor talked about what went wrong.
For the record, they're in here with us.
I know. That's what I'm getting at is like that pit is way in the corner of the property. We're right in the start-finish line above it. And those antennas aren't meant for what we just did.
Yeah.
But
so as we were saying, we got Dean Thompson joining us here. Had a very busy year racing it up in the trucks, as you've done it for a couple years. But Dean, obviously, you made your way out here to Irwindale. We saw you in Phoenix, and when we talked to you then, all you had to say was, I hope I can find something. And now you found more than just something. You've got a couple things going on.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky guy. I was planning on coming out here either way. I told my family, I was like, look, we're back up to Christmas, but I'm going. There's only one time Irwindale has the last race, and I'm going to have to be there. You know, we'll have Christmas another year.
Yeah.
So
Christmas is every year.
yeah. And so I was coming either way, and I heard about my flights and everything. And but Jan called me over Thanksgiving, and he's like, man, I want you to drive my race car. And I was like, I'm in. You know, I was in Montana with my family, and, you know, I get a call from Jan on my phone. And you don't just get a call every now and then from Jan, right? And so I was like, I better answer this. So ran to my room at the house we're renting, and he was like, yeah, I want you to drive my race car. And I was like, awesome, I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm there.
I'm sure that answer didn't come very slowly.
No, I was in. Yeah, no, he told me to give a couple guidelines. Like, this is what we got to do. This is what we got. How we got to get ready. And I'm making phone calls over Thanksgiving dinner. And I'm like, hey, could you help me out and whatnot? And no, we got it all figured out. And then like last weekend or something like that, Jan called me again. He's like, hey, I want you to drive my ARCA car. And I said, I'm in, just like I did before.
So with that the way the scheduling's working, tonight you're going to get a call from Jan saying, I need you to drive my Crown Vic car in this race that's going to be coming up. So
and then the tow truck.
Yeah. Actually, be careful. He might actually recruit you.
And then if we have a good night, maybe the car ride home, he needs a driver, you know.
Yeah, you never know. I guess let's talk about, because for you, when you saw the news, obviously you...
I'm going to interrupt just to see if... Clear or am I cutting out?
You were cutting out, but now you're clear.
Cut.
Now you're cutting out. No. Well,
It's like playing Connect 4, but
Yeah.
there's no connection.
all right, I'm seeing Steven. Let's see what the wireless is showing. It's trying to show Steven. You got Seth Wise, it looks like. We are like way outside of the range, as you can tell.
We're gonna upgrade this range.
We're gonna.
On,
Steven,
track.
now try. Now give it a try, Steven.
Steven don't care what we have to say.
Okay, we're going to
There
try
you go.
now with
There you
Step
go.
Wise right here. We're walking towards the food. And food is kind of a consolation prize because you've had a rough night.
Absolutely. 3 laps, and that was about it. We've been here all day, and now we've got to work even harder throughout the night.
What's been the issue on the car?
We got out here, fired off pretty good. We got 3 laps in, and the car went dead, no power. So trying to figure that out. I think we got it. So we'll see. We'll go out and try it again in the heat race, see what we got.
Good luck in the heat race.
Thank you.
That's Seth Wise out of Bakersfield. Bakersfield guys, they know where the meat is. They know where the tacos are. They know where the truck is. That's what Bakersfield's all about, right?
That's right. And for those of you that are kind of catching wind,
I'm sorry, wait. Did Steven say the Bakersfield guys know where the meat is?
yes,
Is that the thing? Is that the Bakersfield thing?
I think it is
Do
now.
you know anyone from Bakersfield?
No,
You're not touching
I'm
that
from
one.
Anaheim.
That,
I was
that's
He's a Peppers guy or a Ducks guy.
Get your head out of the gutter.
Too late. It's already.
It's been there
knee-deep.
since 1999. It's not going anywhere. But Dean, for you, like this was an event that when you heard about, that Irwindale was going to be closing.
Yeah.
Like it felt like you pretty much said, it doesn't matter if I'm in a car, I'm going to be there. Why was this so important to you?
I mean, this track means a lot to me, right? It means everything to me. No matter development in my career, I tell a lot of people out in the East, I'm like, man, these tracks are cool out here, but there's nothing like Irwindale, right? Irwindale just taught me so much on how to become a race car driver and how to be a better race car driver. And I'm thankful for the people that helped me become the driver I am today, and the people at High Point Racing, and the people at Janter helping me continue that, right? So I knew I had to be here no matter what for Tim and his family, and then for everyone else to see you guys and to see everyone else I was competing against. I knew I just had to be here and just see everybody. It just means a lot. I'm trying not to get choked up.
Well, don't, because then you'll open the floodgates. But so I've been always wondering, for a driver that has gone on from Irwindale Speedway to go into other racetracks across the country in the national level. So we're talking big tracks.
Guys,
Yeah, Steven.
We found a rhino here at the zoo. We found the Rhino Vargas. They're up there talking to Dean Thompson.
He said, oh, man.
You did.
Hey, Dean.
How's it going, Ryan?
Yeah, he needs the air conditioning and to be up high.
Man, AC, it's cold down here.
Man, it's hot up here. I can't lie.
It's stuffy. We got the stuffy box.
Yeah, this is getting way off. Let's talk about Pro Late models. What I want to ask you about is obviously you ran some juniors with us at Era, but there were still kind of the transition to Pro Lates. Have you really run a lot of Pro Lates here at Irwindale?
Yeah, I started racing models in general here at Irwindale with Escherman Racing, and then ended up fielding our own late model. But this is my first time doing anything with pro late models. You know what I mean? It's been 5 years since I last driven here, so everything's so similar, yet it's changed so much, and definitely learning on the fly. But my Swan Security, Sandy Vans, Critical Path Security late model is really, really good. Got the ad read in really good there. Dean, did you hear that?
Oh yeah, I heard
He
that.
was up here pumping his fist when he got that.
That was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. I'm not very good at that.
But no, we got a fast race car here this weekend. I felt really good. Hopefully I could keep up with Dean out there, and we're pretty good. I just want to get back out there. I want to go racing tomorrow. I'm really excited about it, and feels good to be home.
Guys, how cool is it when you got the Xfinity on the suit for Vargas, you got Dean going to Xfinity, just seeing these Irwindale guys go on to big things is pretty cool.
Dean, do you have any questions for Ryan Vargas?
What do I got to do to be faster? I don't know.
You need a pink
I feel like I'm always trying to figure out how to be faster.
Yeah.
We got pole, but I don't know what else I need to do to keep going a little faster.
All right. So the question that I had for you was, so you've graduated out of Irwindale Speedway. This being a wide sweeping half mile, still a short track. But is there anything that you can learn at Irwindale Speedway that could help you at the 1.5 miles or the 2 milers?
Oh yeah. I feel like the tracks where you have to use a lot of throttle control. That's where I excelled because, when I first started here at 604 and as the Hoosier 970, you try to tire and, you're burning it up off on the right rear, off of 2 and off of 4, right? And so it's just learning that throttle control and just rolling the throttle, right? And I think that's been the biggest part of my development is just learning how to manage a tire and learning how to drive worn-out race tracks and what to have us do when I was out here racing. Just those kind of tracks helped me a lot. And this is all momentum racing, right?
Yep.
Which is what I do in trucks. And, this helped me a ton to learn how to momentum race, keep my momentum up, not a lot of brake, a lot of gas, and, running the top and keep your momentum up when you're on the bottom. And that's what this place taught me.
All right. So my last question, potentially. You might be here all night because we've had the Crown Vics in the back.
Man, I'll stay here till y'all kick me out.
Okay, well then we're not. So anyways, what has been that you can recall your favorite type of race car that you've raced here at Irwindale Speedway?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right, because you've raced S2, you've raced late models.
So,
yeah,
the easy answer would be that ARCA car I drove when it was just on rails, right? When I lost with Jesse Love. I'm driving the same one tonight. It's the same
isn't that
chassis.
crazy?
It's crazy.
You leave and do things, and then you come back to the same
Oh,
car.
yeah. It's awesome. It's like a story, right? You can't write that. But
we actually told a Hallmark Channel to make one.
Perfect. I'm in. I saw the camera crew walking around.
Yeah.
No, the easy one would say that. I also go to when I ran pro late models out on the smaller track. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I have videos saved on my phone of you guys talking about me because I was always like, that's so cool. I'm on TV. But I loved that. Obviously, the Irwindale late model back when I was 604 was a ton of fun. Man, I've ran a lot of stuff here. Definitely not a super late model.
What was wrong with a super late?
Man, I can't find the right word for it, but I was scared. I don't want to say the wrong word, but I was scared when I first drove a super late here because you drive it up until you're turning the wheel. It
actually turns when you tell it to.
Yeah, right. And those things are on rails, and I was terrified when we first started doing it.
Which is interesting that you say that because you became the Southwest Tour Series Rookie of the Year that year.
Yeah.
You had to survive the
It was survival. That's no doubt. Yeah. But no, I think definitely it was the ARCA car here. That thing, when me and Partridge were driving that, it was just on rails. And he was telling me, all right, we pull out to a good gap. Why don't we back up a 10th? Boom, done.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we gain a 10th? Boom, done.
So that was your comfortable, your wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah, that was it. That was money. And obviously, I think these cars, the Pro Late models they have now, are a lot of fun. So it's a lot of truck. You're just so much on the throttle, right? Mm-hmm. You're just driving the hell out of it into the corner, and you're driving the hell out of it on exit. So it's a lot of fun. Everything here is a lot of fun. This track's awesome.
Again, for everybody tuned in, we are chatting it up with Dean Thompson up here. He's going to be doing at least double duty, maybe driving a tow truck at one point.
Have you got your Pinnacle Peak barbecue yet?
I have.
The line is open.
I have.
So.
I brought my crew guy Daryl from Tricon out, and he's been helping out with Jan's team. And I went and had dinner with him, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go talk to the boys upstairs.
Sneak upstairs.
Yeah.
For as many times as we've talked with you when you did race here regularly, we've probably gone over this story, but remind us again, how did you ever get into racing, and then how did that lead you to Irwindale Speedway?
So it's crazy. It's a long story. It's my life story because I can't just tell you my racing story, not my life story, because it kind of breaks up. So to make a long story short, I was racing quarter midgets out in Riverside with Cole Custer. I met Joe, and we, my dad and his dad became friends, and we raced out there forever. I raced out there when I was 5 until I was 9. Quit when I was 9, made the executive decision, I'm done racing.
And at 9, you were making executive decisions?
You've retired.
Oh, yeah, I was calling it. The team's done. But, no, I quit because we were just traveling every weekend as a 9-year-old. I was tired of it.
It was too much.
I wanted to hang out with my boys, So quit when I was 9 and didn't really look back. I was playing hockey. I was goalie. I did that until I was a sophomore in high school. Played goalie and come to semifinals. I shut the number 1 seed out or number 4. I shut them out 2-0, and it was a big game for me because now we're going to the championship, and they didn't put me in for the championship, and I was pretty upset. I told the coach, I was like, if you don't put me in for the championship and you guys lose, I'm never playing for you guys again. And Cole had invited me out to a race, me and my dad out to a race in Fontana, and before that, and I'm sitting there on his pit box going, I messed up. I made a mistake, and the bug bit me again. And so I was thinking about it, and then that happened, and then they lost, like, big time. They lost big time. And so I went down, shook the coach's hand. I said, I'm done. And I haven't played hockey since. I haven't stepped on pads since. So I started racing here. I knew Tim, or my dad knew Tim, I guess, from my uncle racing here. And they made the connection there, and we started talking to Tim about running. And I hopped in one of the school cars. Made a few laps, and they weren't too bad, I guess. I mean, Ryan Partridge thought I was okay, so I was like, yeah, I'm good. So
Seal of approval.
Yeah. So started racing for High Point. Oh, man. The years. 2018, 2019?
Yeah. It should be around there.
I mean, you guys see me hit the wall a million times, so you guys would know.
We actually have a stat book. No.
24 DNFs. You'll be getting an award later on.
We got it on a plaque. Yeah.
No, but I raced for High Point and started racing late models for them and S2s, and got second, I think, twice to Cowboy Kenny, and that's one I want back. I got second twice, and Trevor and all of them were like, oh, no, you're going to win. You'll be fine. I kept losing to Kenny. Oh, my gosh, it was awful. Started racing light models then. Now, I'm going to pause you, though.
Yeah. Because while you were kicking yourself about losing to Cowboy Kenny, he had 70 years of racing experience up on you at that moment. Okay.
Yeah, but who cares?
Maybe
I want to
50.
win.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
But, so I started racing the late models and got to know Trevor really well. And, him and Ryan Partridge, they did a lot of work on making me a better race car driver. We were basically starting over, right? Starting at 15 is hard, and it started as a hobby. It didn't even start as anything crazy because I started at 15, right? Then started winning 2020, and it became a little more than a hobby. And we won a championship, then we won 2 championships, started racing ARCA, and then just haven't looked back. So
the dominoes just kept hitting one after the other.
Yeah.
We are glad that you told that coach off.
Yeah,
because we wouldn't be watching you in hockey. We don't care about hockey.
No offense.
We're here for racing.
Yeah, the coach, when I was playing hockey, I used to always wear my hat backwards. I don't really anymore because I got sponsors now. But I used to always wear my hat backwards, and he was like, buddy, if you want your career to go forward, you better turn that hat around. And I was like, what in the world are you talking about? I'm in high school hockey. And I started racing out here. I started won the championship and the state championship, and I sent a picture of him to him with me and my trophies.
I was going to ask if you sent him like a hero card or something.
I sent a picture of me and my trophies and my hat backwards saying, like, what now? That's my...
Bam.
Good.
Drop the mic moment. Well, that's fun. Yeah, because we always enjoy learning about that story about any of our local racers. How did you end up at Irwindale Speedway racing in whatever it is? It's always fun to hear, the quarter midget story. Obviously, you and Cole share that. Yeah, no, it's been, again, Tommy and I, we're all about the drivers that we get to see grow up at our racetracks and then go out and flourish and go bring it on television when we get to say, there goes Dean. Mean Dean or Nino or whatever.
That's what he always called me, is Mean Dean.
Do you know why? Do you know why your nickname is Mean Dean?
I've never known, no.
So, Corey actually gave it to you.
Yeah, that was this guy right here.
Okay.
When you broke the poor guy's rib, Christian McGee's rib, fodder.
Oh my gosh.
At Tucson.
Yeah.
Now, you didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
I remember that. Yeah.
You were out there doing
The
your
track was coming
practice.
up, yeah.
And a chunk of the track come undone, and you were the next car in line to hit it, and it hit his rib.
Yeah.
And it broke it or cracked it. So since then you became Mean Dean. I'm getting a phone call.
Oh, Tommy's getting a phone call. Yeah, that's so that's where that came from. You've probably been wondering for years why the heck we ever
I've
called
never
you Mean
known.
Dean.
I've never known. Yeah, that was a scary moment for me.
well, luckily everything turned out okay there. But I guess speaking on that transition of the Mean Dean nickname, obviously you don't really go by that nickname, but in the off season of last year, it was kind of like a storyline of yours that you took some fighting training. And
yeah. I was wondering where you're going with that. Yeah. No, I started kickboxing. I'm raced for Toyota, so I'm at TPC, the Toyota Performance Center, and they got this guy they know that trains kickboxing, and I was. They had a whole orientation program where you were working out as many times as a week, and then you'd go see him once a week. And I just grew to love it. I've loved the UFC always, and I watched it with my dad, and so I started kickboxing just for fun, and I started getting better and better and better, and I started I'm really competitive, right? So I don't like to do certain things just for fun, and it's kind of a downside because I hate playing board games. I try a little too hard, but no, I started getting really serious about it, and watching videos and training at my house and doing more reaction stuff and just trying to learn that. And I brought Wallace along with me, and I was like, you should come with me. This is a lot of fun. And so he started coming with. He's my partner, my training partner.
So you guys just punch each other in the face whenever you're like, let's train.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's a lot of fun. I started doing that, and after a while, I was just talking to the trainer, and I was like, man, how do you think I'd do in an amateur fight? And he was like, I think you do good.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that. I didn't think he'd say that. And then, like I said, I'm super competitive, and I'm like, do you think we should do one? Yeah. And he's like, yes. And I was like, I'm in. And so we signed up for a fight, and I started training more seriously. And I had all my trainers at TPC, and I had my fighting trainer help me. And we had 6 weeks to prep. I prep for 6 weeks, and I'm training for one fight. Right, I'm thinking of just showing up, having 4, maybe 3 rounds of fighting, and I show up and I'm getting ready, I'm getting loose, and I fight and I win. The guys, I had to be 20 pounds bigger than me because they mixed 2 divisions up because there wasn't enough people. I was the only person in my division, and so I fight this guy. I win. I think I'm about to go home, and the guy's like, "Wait, no, there's 3 of you guys. You have to fight this other guy." Now you won. And I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And so I'm chilling there. And I'm trying to, recoup and trying to get, trying to calm down and get my heart rate low. And they call me 8 minutes later after my first fight, and I am gassed. I am gassed. And there's never been a moment in my life where I've been like, holy cow, there's no turning back. I have to do this.
Yeah.
Because all my friends are there, my trainer's there. I'm not going to turn around because they're all there, right? I was like, I'll do it. And my trainer said it was a really, really close fight, but I lost. He was all ready to go. He had watched me fight before, and it was a close fight, but I lost. But that was a really, really good experience. It was really a lot of fun.
What I love is that, because I feel like you hear a lot about this from athletes all across the board, where when they do what they're used to and they're comfortable with, and then they get thrown into something, like if you had somebody thrown into the driver's seat and they're going green at Daytona, and they're like, this track's way too big. There's way too many of us on the racetrack. They would be going through that same thought process of there's no turning back. Yeah. Where for you, it's like, oh no, I can take the truck on any track or any car. Maybe super late at Irwindale, but and then for that you're like, but now I have to face off against this guy in this fight.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man, I just think it's funny hearing that mentality and whatnot. So, guess what, Dean? We're going racing.
I'm going to call this race.
We're going to do this.
You'll take your headsets off. I got this.
Okay. All right, Dean. It's all
no.
all you. Let's see here. I've got some names here that I can introduce once they cross the line. I see Joe Labrosiano in the number 95. The 176, that should be Cheryl Highland. You don't have to memorize all these names. Don't worry.
It's impressive how you guys do it.
Well, I'm just guessing right now.
There you go.
The 5 is Dean Thompson.
I'll take it.
You know, that was the number you've been driving of late. The 7, I don't know. That driver's changed a couple times this year.
It's got the Spire number on it. That's pretty good.
Exactly,
we got
right?
The 1776 car.
Yes, we do. Now that should be Ryder Gardner. Look at that. You've got
I'm
got
official. I just
labels
saw
and
that.
everything.
Yeah.
I just saw this
Official.
too. But Robert Rice in the 7, Ryder Gardner in that number 76. I'm going to guess that the 5 may be Azalina, but that's a guess. And I'm sure the Azalinas might be in the pit area right now going, no, we're not down there. But we are waiting to see if our scoring does pop up here. If it doesn't, we'll wing it. You know.
There you go.
You know, just if you thought MMA fighting or any of that kind of craziness is crazy, welcome to announcing without any information.
I love trying new things.
So I was kind of getting the lowdown a little bit.
Sure, what's up?
The reason why we had a bit of a delay or a pause was because we're filling in, because of all the cars and all the divisions,
Mm-hmm.
we are filling in all of the lineups, but also registering the transponders as we go because of an earlier issue. But you can't do that when there's cars running on the track because it just eats the input that you just gave.
Okay.
So you need to literally hit the pause button. And so we still have, I think, 10 more divisions after this.
What you're telling me is that Dean showed up at the perfect time for us to do like a podcast-style interview with him because we had to fill almost 30 minutes of time.
There
So
you
thank
go.
you, Dean. Good job on your part.
You're welcome.
So here's the beauty, and I am not surprised, and this isn't like a call-out in any way. I'm just saying this is how I figured it would go. The schedule said that racing tonight was going from 6 to 8 p.m. We've done, I think, 2 divisions. What's up? Hey, Manny in the house. Look, Tommy, we got all these.
There you
folks.
go. Look at Robert and Manny over there. Yeah.
Now, those two together, that's a dangerous duo right there.
Technically,
anything can be accomplished in that room right now.
Those two are the same people, just at different racetracks.
Exactly.
And the best part is they've been working together lately.
Perfect. Well, Tommy, you ready to work together? Dean, you're joining us for this one?
Dean, have you ever raced or driven a Crown Vic in your life?
Not a Crown Vic, but done an Enduro, and I popped my shoulder out. I wouldn't do it again.
Oh, yeah, don't be doing that. Stick to the big car.
Until Jan calls him up and says, we do have another Crown Vic.
Yeah.
Well, we're going 3 wide into turn number 1.
Ryder Gardner, look at that.
Yeah.
Last to second.
So Ryder there in the Captain America car being chased down by Robert Rice, and they're all trying to get Labrosiano, who's sideways into turn 3. Big Daddy sideways. He just won the figure 8 heat an hour ago.
He's looking. There he is.
So do you think that might have been a little bit of that side draft?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now, Dean, I don't mean to bring up bad memories, but you
boy.
do remember what happened the last time you were on mic for a race, right?
Yes.
It wasn't good for anyone that doesn't remember.
Oh, my gosh.
The announcing was
I'll
fine. No, you can't. There's a good battle for third right now. Robert Rice all over the rear bumper of the 95 of Joe Labrosiano, who continues to dirt track it.
Yeah, so he's loose on the entry to the corner, which really isn't helpful. It's never good to be loose in the corners, but he has to fight a lot.
Scary. It's scary to be loose in.
Where's the scariest place to be loose in?
Ooh, it depends on what car. If you're in a Super, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Everywhere.
Yes.
Your truck probably had a lot of side force, so it's like, oh, I'll get it.
In a truck, you're always free in.
Yeah.
Because you have to get so much turn in it.
Well, that battle for second spot, Labrosiano looks to be holding up Robert Rice. And Robert's going to look to go to the outside. He's cutting to the inside.
Faked him out.
Joe is driving this Crown Vic exactly how I feel like we would.
Yes.
Tell you what, I think that top set's good for him, being that free.
Yeah, you can actually take your time through the corner a little bit longer with that steering wheel.
It's a little too wide right there. He had a good 3 and 4 before that.
Well, Ryder Gardner is our leader, 1.5 seconds ahead of this battle for second.
Into the sunset.
Just right. Dean, the sun set a while ago.
Well, there you see the gap between first, second, and third. First and second have a lot bigger of a gap than second and third. White flag waves for the final lap. Little bumper tag.
I'll tell you what, I see Ryder Gardner host Irwindale races on iRacing all the time.
Yes.
So I see this guy on iRacing all the time practicing, whether it helps in the Crown Vic or not. Laps always helps.
It looks like it helps.
I mean, he's winning coming to the checkered right now, right?
That's it. Ryder Gardner crosses the line. Winner of the heat race for the Crown Vics. That was our one heat race for the Crown Vics. I want to fall back on what Tommy was just talking about, by the way, because I want to kind of just really nail this, I guess, into all of our heads. It's okay. Like, while we had that delay, we had some time that we paused. Why not?
Rules.
What rush are we in?
Yeah.
Like a Joe Labrosiano driving his 95. He looks like the pizza guy in Home Alone. Like he's going to run over the statue.
Right.
Hey, Steven, you got a winner with you. Hi.
All right. Stephen Blakesley.
Well, we're down here with Ryder Gardner, your winner of the Crown Vics race. And you've been running these Crown Vics at Kern here at Irwindale. Must feel good to win the heat race on the final weekend.
Yeah, it feels great. I love this track. I'm sad it's going. But yeah, this Crown Vic class is the future. You guys have to get into it. This is awesome. It's so much fun. It's a stock car. It's as stock can get. It has an exhaust because I have a sponsor from BA Mufflers, Keith Cardy. Shout out Keith Cardy. I want to thank Pick Your Part, Ace Hardware, Tucker Tire, and all the fans that are watching online, and thanks to all the staff that's here.
Well, we'll see this guy put on a show tomorrow in front of 9,000 of his best friends here at Irwindale Speedway.
Oh, he's going to drive.
I was going to ask him how many of those Irwindale late model host sessions helped him.
He probably knew you were going to ask, and that's why he drove away.
He drove away because I always beat him at them. No, he beats me all the time.
Oh, man.
If you ever see Tommy and I in an iRacing hosted or any session, just stay away from us because we are not the ones you want to be near.
I want to squeeze this in real quick. Our wireless guy, TJ, is probably, I don't know how he's still standing where he's at. He drives the Crown Vic on track day sessions, but also as a daily driver. I don't know how he's not on the track with duct tape numbers to get to the final race.
Are you suggesting?
Yes.
Good.
There's Elizabeth with TJ and Steven. You guys can wave because Elizabeth is filming you. There you go.
Do you guys have a lineup? I hate to interrupt, but I might need to go soon.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like when you're supposed to race?
Yeah, I might need to be down there pretty soon.
Dean, you might need to be down there soon. I don't know.
I don't see the pro late models, but you can skip out whenever
these are
you're
street
ready.
stocks.
Yes, street stocks, and then junior lates are next.
Okay.
We've shown that we're willing to wait tonight. Like if you're not there, I'm sure that
when Jeff and I would
put you in the B main.
when Jeff and I would skid plate race or trailer race, we would run down from here to our car.
Yeah.
So
That's
you can do the same.
But it's not a good endorsement because we would start enduro races like 10 laps in.
Yeah.
And they did start without us. So, you know,
boy.
Yeah. I'll leave that up to you.
But you can skip out whenever you want.
Because I don't have
If I do see a pro late model going, I will warn you for sure.
ARCA's first. We're qualifying, and then I think pro lights are last.
So you're saying I should look out for the ARCA car first?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we're going to have to look out for a couple of cars in here. That's one of which I don't have a name, Tommy, so maybe I'm going to lean on you. But it is the car starting on the pole. I have 89. And
that's all you need to know. Look at all those wind decals on the roof.
Cow.
Someone's got victory.
Yeah.
Jay Verduzco in the number 1. We got the 43 here, Austin Pannone. Outside is the 8X. That is Thomas Esberg. And then we got the 40 of Jerry Toporek. We talked about that figure 8 racing. He did a lot of it in the Outlaws. The 88, Donna Gunther. And rounding out the field, the 26, Greg Benner.
Well, how about a throwback? Greg was one of the
throwback.
guys to start Irwindale Speedway, and he's gonna be here to end it.
Absolutely love it. Now, Steven might need to do the recon work on our 89.
We got it. I already asked him, and he's on it. Tyler Holden.
Thank you.
I figured that was a Madeira car because I've seen it in pictures and whatnot. But Tyler Holden is holding on to the lead. Second spot battle, though.
You see what Tommy did there? He made a joke.
He did. So that's Pannone and the one of Verduzco.
I'll tell you what, I was watching that 43, sitting when I was in the backstretch watching them make laps. That car digs.
Yes.
It also sparks.
It sparks. It does all of it. It's sparking because it's digging.
And that's a good battle there for the second spot.
That is Verduzco on the outside in the number 1. Pannone.
Ooh. Well, a diamond?
Got to try something. Now, if you're Verduzco, right, you're going to try to pinch down the 43, but not anymore. You got to watch the 43 drive away. Pannone to second, but Verduzco
Crossover.
trying to do it. Yep.
Ooh.
Shut the door.
That's got to be such a good feeling when you pull off a successful crossover on someone. You're just like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Thomas Esberg there in the 8X. Now that's a street stock looking street stock.
It is.
I'll tell you what, the one car is hitting that bump really well and keeps wrapping the line, and he's pulling up to the 43 on the exit of 4.
And that's always been a big storyline here. On the 3rd mile is that the area right here where there's patchwork, that was a sinkhole that developed. Yeah, and then when they repatched it.
Twice.
It's not... I'm expecting the biggest sinkhole to show up at this track. I'm already telling people, I'm like, you just watch because it's the last event. Something weird's going to happen. So if you see cars start disappearing in front of you, just drive around that.
It looks like Kyle Keller's walking up the grandstands, getting a good view of some street stock racing.
Man, that battle for second is a fun one. Pannone sideways out of turn 2, and that allows Verduzco to the inside.
Final lap, white flag waving. We're not done for second.
We know who's going to win this race. And that's the 89, but look at this battle for second. Verduzco going to get the bumper.
Yeah.
That race right there has been the price of admission in this heat. And it is all Tyler Holden across the line. Verduzco second. And we got a smoker.
We got, yeah. Uh-oh. And in the family section, no less. Jerry Toporek.
Jerry Toporek, yeah, is he putting fluid down? The hope is that he's not.
I'm glad Kyle's down in the grandstands because he's racing ARCA too.
That is true.
So whenever he walks away,
Kyle,
hi Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
Whenever
Kyle,
he walks
Dean.
away, I'm gonna go downstairs.
That's right. So you're
That's
spotting for him.
That's my tell.
He's going to sneak out of there now and see if he can get away without
I'm standing
you
up.
noticing.
I'm watching him.
Like a hawk. Well, this will be fun. Get to have a chat with Tyler, who just picked up the victory here. And he is down there with Stephen Blakesley.
Well, down here with Tyler Holden, the Madera standout on a different 1/3 mile here at Irwindale, but no problems there in the heat race. Just how does it feel to be here at Irwindale?
This track's really difficult. It's really fun to race. I want to thank Sheldon for giving me the opportunity to race his car. It's a fun weekend right now.
You guys have a big crew down there, lots of race cars. What's it like just being a part of this team?
It's amazing. Hunter's been dialing these cars in for about 3 years now. They've kind of been unbelievable to drive, so without him, it wouldn't be done.
Well, they've got cars in the street stocks, the junior lates, the pro lates, and their street stock wins the heat race here for Tyler Holden.
Thank you, Stephen. You see the 40 of Jerry Toporek being pushed back to the pit road, so not just a small issue there for Jerry. The car just kind of shut off, so they're going to get to work on fixing that. They've done their heat race. That means they don't have to worry about racing until at some point tomorrow. Long day if you are coming out to Irwindale for tomorrow's racing. Try and get here early. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to be coming. You don't want to get stuck in traffic because there will be traffic getting in around start time. So the earlier you get here, the more comfortable you're going to be. That is our suggestion. You don't have to listen to me.
Yeah, and you don't want to miss a lap. You don't want to not see Dean Thompson take the green of the ARCA race.
And Dean Thompson doesn't want to not see Dean Thompson take
yeah.
flag.
He's worried right
Still
now.
watching Kyle.
He's worried right now.
We're good.
Wait a minute. Is that Kyle or is that someone else in Kyle Keller's suit?
No. Don't scare me like that.
I just might. Well, we've got ourselves another street stock race gearing up here. The 26 of Courtney Baker. The 4 of... Now, Tommy, this is a name that I know that I've screwed up in the past. But this is Skylar.
Skylar Shoppy.
You confident on
Shop.
You just changed your answer.
Shop.
Final answer?
Soda shop.
Soda shop. Skylar Soda Shop. Dean, how would you say that name?
Nuh-uh.
I'm
so bad at names.
I feel like we
It's
screwed
gotta be
it up.
Shop.
I believe it's Shop.
I like Shop.
I'm so sorry if I said it wrong.
Steven's got a report.
How dare you?
Steven's got a report down from the turn 1 area. I don't know if you can say it over the microphone. Steven, can you report what you just messaged? Maybe? Can he report what he just messaged to me? Because he's part of the show too. Yeah, Steven, what did you just message to me?
Well, none of these 4 drivers have ever won a junior late model main event. So just imagine you're a 12-year-old kid in a full-size stock car and your first win might come in front of 9,000 people tomorrow. So this is a big opportunity for a couple of these young drivers, especially Courtney Baker, the Southern California driver out of La Crescenta. See how she does tonight.
Very good. Steven, he doesn't have to be afraid. He can jump in.
And Steven's a professional.
Yeah.
Because I think I called these street stocks when they were pulling out.
They're not street stocks.
I don't want to correct you, but there are junior late models.
You know how professional I am? I wasn't even paying attention to your screw up.
That's it. And Dean's up here sitting, wondering why he came up here. No, yeah, we got the junior late model. Now, what's interesting about the junior late models that we have here are these are 4 cars that, and I might need the verification on this one, but I think these are 4 cars that we have not seen race here. Our junior spec late model program has typically been a rental program through the whole deal set up with Bruncati, and so this is fun. I'm glad that we're able to get these junior spec late models out here. I know.
Junior late model. That's Bob Bruncati's class.
I know.
That's close.
I'm going to mute myself.
And don't do it. We're going green. That 22 car screams to me Dick Shepherd, right?
It's close.
It's close. That's more the dirt car Dick Shepherd.
Yes.
All right.
I'm here on Friday night just so I can be ready for Saturday night. That's it. I got to do my research.
Now you know what I love about these junior late model drivers? They are so young, but if I were to walk right into the grandstands right now and see this, I would never believe that they're children.
No. These cars are...
I mean, they're going full speed, right?
Oh, yeah. These cars are big for how young they are.
Now, they are restricted from a pro late model or...
They're digging. Look at that.
Yeah.
They are moving.
Cars are sealed off, squatted down. They are working the wheel.
And conversely, to your point, Tommy, anybody that hears our announcing would never believe that we're adults.
That is very true.
So I guess it's a nice pairing here.
Well, Skylar out to the lead in the number 7.
I thought the update, by the way, that Steven was going to give was how to pronounce Skylar's last name.
Now it's going to be on him.
He's going to have to figure it out. Good luck.
They were putting the decals on this 22 car at the beginning of the day yesterday. They were pitted right next to you, Dean.
Oh, yeah. That kid's a wheel, man. I couldn't believe he was driving that car. I thought, like, Kyle Keller was driving it.
When you said it,
would now be a bad time to ask if they're the same height?
Oh, man. All right, I'm watching the 7 right here. Kind of changed up their line. They were running above the bump, but now they're running right through it. They're way faster now.
You've never got to experience that bump, or
yes,
have
I did.
you?
Yes, I did.
What is that bump like as a driver?
It's nothing crazy. It rattles your head. White flag right here. It rattles your head a little bit, but as long as you're patient and don't get on the gas through it, I think that's probably why Skylar is hauling the mail. Is because she's being patient and getting on right after. Boom.
And
right
Skylar's going to haul it all the way to victory lane.
Skylar's shop there.
Very good. So that is going to be a wrap there with our junior late models. And I already hear Steven queued up.
He's ready, man.
And we'll send it down to Steven.
There you go.
We'll send it down to Steven.
Oh, Kyle's moving.
He is.
Kyle is moving. Who's that next to him there?
Oh, he's running pro lights.
Ah.
Do you trust that, though?
That might be my cue. But we got a lot of legends to go through. We got a lot of legends to go through.
That is true. Stephen Blakesley in victory lane. Got that Sierra Speed technology ride. Yep. Go for it.
Well, Skylar Shoppy, like we talked about, none of these 4 drivers have a junior late model win, but Shoppy wins the heat race. Great start to your weekend. What was the key to winning that heat race?
Really, the key was just keep calm and keep your lines, being always consistent. That's one thing I really try to really work on, is just trying to work on consistency and making sure your lines are just perfect every time, and always make sure you got a great smile on your face. Always stay positive.
There you go.
Everybody at Central Valley Honor Flight, I'm glad. Although it's a heat race, it's not a real race, but I'm just glad to get all my veterans at Central Valley Honor Flight, get them a nice heat race victory, and hopefully we can take this momentum and hopefully put it onto tomorrow, and hopefully get that nice race win at this great racetrack.
Well, awesome drive by this guy. Good luck in the main event for Skylar Shoppy here. And you can hear how just polished these drivers are, Tommy and Jeffrey. These kids have been around the block for a little bit already.
We didn't say the name right.
We didn't. We screwed up. But he said his name.
Well, we were going to say it right, but then Dean convinced us it was a...
Hey, no. I was just up on the bandwagon.
Fair enough.
Legend cars on the racetrack. Now, everybody watching around, live online, in the pits, sitting in the pit grandstands, Jeffrey, Dean, Corey, Charlie, Elizabeth, TJ, and Steven, and all the officials need to know this info. We are now battling for transfer spots.
Oh, man. It's time.
It is real. In these races, the top 5 transfer directly to tomorrow's main event.
So we're watching
everybody
fifth place.
from 6th on back will have to try it again in the B main tomorrow.
Oh, B main's tomorrow.
Or tonight,
man.
or whenever they want to do it.
But good with me.
If you're in the top 5, you don't want to fall out of it.
Which means good night to the entire let's take it easy in the heat race mentality, because you can't. You have to go for it here. Tommy, this is very much a dirt format.
Yes.
And that's why I'm excited about this, as we are going to see the legend cars. Now, again, we just want to apologize. There are a few names that we still don't have in our system.
And they're still populating.
They are still, oh my gosh, you're right. I was just going to say, in case we don't have anyone's name, we're going to mispronounce it anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. The 71, Jake Bowman, is going to be starting on the pole with the 24 of Ryan Charteau. And then out inside of row number 2, we
07 of Jared Torres.
See, we didn't have that name, but Tommy, you were ready. What about the 5? Do it
we
again.
We don't have that name.
Oh, come on.
Terry Labonte.
Dean Thompson.
There we go.
No.
The 28 is Jim Smith. You had a chat with him. The 47, Mike Vanderlip. 76, Ashley Weber. And the 77 of Matthew Reinl is our field. There are 8 cars on track. Only 5 are guaranteed to make it into the A main event.
Don't finish in the bottom 3. Don't be in the top 5 and lose it.
Now, these fields were set by qualifying times. So at least you had an opportunity to set yourself up for success. But we'll see.
So for Elizabeth to know, the lead is great, but the 5th place car, any battle around that is the most important one in these heat races, because that 28 holds the final transfer spot. Jimmy Smith in the 28 trying to stay ahead of the purple and gray 47 of Vanderlip.
Yep. Now, the biggest battle we have right now is just ahead of that transfer spot. Jared Torres, that 07, trying to hold off the number 5.
Torres, he's getting some pressure. You can see the different lanes.
Yeah, but he's wrapping the line a lot better.
Yeah.
You see he pulls away right there.
So, Dean, put yourself as a driver in these legend cars. Have you ever raced legends?
Never raced one, tested one once.
Okay. So, if you're in a battle above the transfer battle, how hard do you go, knowing that you're battling for a starting position, if you screw it up, you're out of the show?
Sure. So if I'm Charteau on 24,
yep,
I'm seeing who's leading, Jake Bowman. Yep. I'm seeing him fly away. Look, I'm not going to get him in however many laps to go. Guy behind me, probably not as fast as me, so I'm going to start keeping this pace right here.
Yeah.
I'm going to maintain this, save some tire, not give up a spot, and just keep this pace rolling.
That is very true. Now, not the same for Jimmy Smith because he looks in his mirror and Vanderlip is closing in.
Now, there's a chance, I'm just going to throw this out there, unless, Tommy, you've seen Lawless's car, I have a question mark on our sheet that says Lawless Allen number 5, question mark.
No. He's in the 25.
Yeah.
See, this is why I ask questions.
Yeah.
There is battle coming up. He's on his bumper.
White flag, and this is the last opportunity. Vanderlip.
The inside.
He's got to pass Smith, but Smith has to hold off Vanderlip here.
Keep watching this one, Elizabeth. Who's it going to be at the line?
Oh, he got free.
I don't think Vanderlip's going to lift into turn number 3 this time. Checker flag goes to Bowman. It'll be Charteau, Torres the 5, and who makes it out of these two?
Man, he rolled right up to him.
Oh, right at the line, almost made contact. Jimmy Smith is going to the feature, and Vanderlip will have to fight his way out of the B main.
Dean, how old were you in 1999?
0. Negative 2.
And Tommy, what was Jim Smith doing in 1999?
He was getting this racetrack started. He's kicking off opening night.
Happy birthday. Stephen Blakesley down with Jake Bowman.
Guys, we've got our driver down here who was second in the INEX national points this year for Jake Bowman. And it must be special to have an opportunity to have a car this good at your home racetrack. You've been traveling all over the country, and you must be really motivated to try to win this thing tomorrow.
Yeah, I am really. I mean, really my career started here at Irwindale Speedway. I mean, it's really sad for me to see it go. I mean, it's one of the best late model tracks I think in the country, and the legend track I love. Just sucks, but it is what it is, and we're gonna keep racing, and hopefully we do good tomorrow. I mean, I have a lot of laps around this track. I mean, like I said, and we have a great car. I can't thank Donington Hours enough. Yeah.
Well, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hey, Jake Bowman, the guy out of Huntington Beach, comes home with the win here in heat race number 1 for the Legends cars.
Are you loving heat racing already? I love it.
Yes.
Jeffrey, you and I, we started here at Irwindale Speedway in theory, but when we got the opportunity to go knock down the door at Bakersfield Speedway, Scott Schweitzer and them, I'm going to come full circle in a second, led us into Bakersfield Speedway, and then we got to do some dirt coverage, which that is how they always start their field, is through the heat races, transfer battles, and whatnot. So guess who I called the other day to help line up these heat races? Scott Schweitzer. Bakersfield Speedway. Do you notice a little similarity in these heat races?
Did you not hear me say, like, oh, this is a dirt track format? Absolutely. I did not know that story, though. Tommy, I have bad news. I don't have a name on the number 9, and there's just no way we'll ever.
Bad news, too.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to have to send an email.
Time to get rolling.
Oh,
all right, Dean. Well,
I'll start heading down. I appreciate you guys. Yep. Might be back up here later.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm still sober at the end of the night, so.
If you're not, make sure you come up here.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
good
you guys
luck.
for letting me join you.
All right, Dean Thompson. He's going to be doing double duty here this weekend. Grew up here at Irwindale Speedway, learning his stock cars. And, yeah, great to have him join us up here. Again, perfect time for him to show up when we needed an interview.
Yes, absolutely.
So that worked out. Tommy, have we ever seen that 9 Legend car
So
before?
I was watching Track Vision TV this year, and there were some MMI Legend car races. And this car, I can't remember who it was, but this car was winning a lot of them. I think he got the big trophy at the end of the year. But we're going to skip over him. No, I'm kidding. It's Tyler Reif.
Oh, I was going to guess Bill Elliott.
That would not be a bad guess.
Thank you. But that is Tyler Reif. The 85 starting outside, that's Tyler Hicks.
The 2 Tylers on the front row.
Yep, the number 1, Nathan Quella. Nathan was just doing some laps on track a little bit earlier, so they hopefully don't have any issues. The 05, that's Disney out there, CJ Disney. And then the 18 on
Not listed.
Not listed.
But that's 18.
We have a couple not listed coming up here.
It says
Jeff Disney in the 37.
Glaze. That's Glaze in the 18. That's a 00 to his outside of David Ruderman. And the 37 of Jeff Disney. That's only one of 13 Ricky Schlick race cars.
Now, again, this is a completely new format, and naturally we're doing it on the last weekend ever of this racetrack existing. So I do want to give a shout-out to a lot of, not just timing and scoring, but the officials picking up a lot of what we're doing, because this is very different territory from anything that they typically do.
And their system broke down today, of all days.
Yeah, so it's just been a day of gremlins. We go green. 8 laps of racing, 5 cars transferred to the A main event. Let's see who it's gonna be. Rife with the early lead. Hicks there in second. Quella, Disney, Glaze. I had a donut earlier today.
Did you?
I did. It was not a glazed donut.
I did not have a donut. Dang. Well, Glaze holds on to that 5th and final transfer spot. Unless anything has changed, this is the numbers we're going off of. It is Glaze there in the 18. And not going to have, maybe not going to have the drama they had in the first legend car. Now, anybody in the top 5 could screw it up.
Yeah, I'm not willing to get comfortable. We've seen enough of these events at the Budweiser Nationals to know that you never know what's going to happen in a heat race. Someone might be comfortable and then have a mechanical. We know that, again, that one of Nathan Quella, it was necessary for them to come on out and do a few laps of practice after the first set of heat races that we had. So they might be filling something out. But man, these B mains are going, because it's not just about like, oh cool, we got to race. You want to be in the main event on the last race.
You don't want to sweat. Now it's my understanding that the B mains will happen tomorrow because we want everybody to race on Saturday.
Yes. While I have no control over it, I would prefer them tomorrow.
You've already paid your entry. Yeah. Why would you want to send someone home?
Because I could see someone making the argument of like, well, what if they have to fix stuff? It's like, if you had to fix stuff, you didn't make it out of the B main.
That's true.
Probably.
White flag wave for Tyler Rife, the MMI Legends Tour champion for all of the ZMAX Cars Tour West races in 2024. He goes down the back straightaway.
Well, Elizabeth, you could check out our leader for this one because we're not.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah, Tyler Rife's going to do it. He's going to win heat race number 2 for the Legend Cars. Tyler Hicks, Nathan Quella, CJ Disney, Glaze in the 18, the 00 crosses the line, and the 37 of Jeff Disney. So the last 2 cars that we named off there, the 00 and the 37, will both have to deal with the B mains. So there's your winner, Tyler Rife, doing what he's been doing a lot in that car.
Winning.
Win, win, win.
Bullring, All-American Speedway, here at Irwindale, you name it, he's done it.
By the way, what's happening today is what I expect to happen tomorrow. When we say racing's going to end at 8 tomorrow. Oh, man.
Tyler, turn, Tyler. There you go.
Steven's trying to catch a taxi.
Well, Tyler Rife picks up the win in heat race number 2, and we know track position is super important here. So how big is that to have the front row tomorrow night?
You know, the outside isn't the best, but we're going to do our best with it. And Jake Bowman's fastest weekend is always, me and him always race hard, so I'm looking forward to it tomorrow, and I know it's going to be a good Duke.
I know you have some massive things in the works for next year, so how big would it be to end this year in Victory Lane here at Irwindale?
It'd be huge. You know, I'm running the ARCA car also this weekend, so hopefully we can walk away with 2 more wins to this amazing track, and thank you.
Well, how about it for this guy, Tyler Rife, picks up heat race number 2 for the Legends, and yeah, like I mentioned, he's got there's a couple of double-duty drivers. We'll see him in the ARCA a little bit later tonight, guys.
Thank you, Steven. As we get ready for heat race number 2, now there's no question in my heart and my mind of if Lawless Allen is in this race.
That is true.
Because that is an unmistakable paint scheme that is on track now. You'll see it here in a moment. As once again, 8 laps, 5 cars transfer to the main. And the 25 of Lawless Allen will be starting on the pole. Alongside, there is the number 27.
Needs to add some water to those numbers so they grow a little bit. And we don't have a number, or we don't have a name for that number yet.
Now, this we're treating the Legend cars specifically like we do the dirt track heat races. In that, yes, have we seen this 27 race? Yes. Do we trust that there hasn't been a driver swap? No.
You should see High Point Racing and Jan's Racing. They have names on cars that are not even on property. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We got to tread lightly.
Now the 43, Stephen Bazin, Christian Bazin. See, God dang it.
Yeah,
I was so confident in that one too.
Because we don't get to see Christian in the 43 typically.
So Christian down there.
So this is the 30 car that has the question marks. Tyler Batsianis, if I said that correctly.
Now who's in that 33?
Kale Kankey back.
Yep,
in the legend car.
71 to Josh Ayers. And then the last car in the field, the number 54. And I believe that is Connor Stevens.
All righty. Well, again, top 5 go to the big dance. Everybody else has to try to fight their way through. I love heat racing.
And I love how many people showed up for this event. Tommy, you and I, when we heard initially about this event, much like when everyone heard about it, by the way, caution, just because we're racing on Friday doesn't mean that we don't like good-looking
You got to be tidy, Lawless Allen.
But when we heard about this event, I was curious about, genuinely, honestly, I didn't know what kind of turnout we might expect on the weekend before Christmas. I was like, there's a lot of people that already probably have plans, maybe some of us included. And so I was curious about what kind of turnout we might expect. And to see the support that we are seeing for this event, it warms my heart.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
happy to see this. It genuinely makes me happy. I want to thank, again, all of the competitors, the teams, the volunteers, everybody for coming on out for this one. And, of course, we'll be sharing it all with the fans Saturday night. We have, you heard the capacity Steven talked about. We used to talk about having 6,000 people here. We're talking about 9,000 tomorrow. I can't wait to see what the parking lot looks like.
So it looks like Allen used the bumper tap from Bazin in the 43 as the signal to go. And Spagnola in the 27 said, "Are you sure?" Or he had the 25 not locked down and ready. So we're going to try it again. 27, 25, front row, and we are green. Much better.
I like the bumper tap idea, though.
I'm saying Spagnola only because it does say it on the winder.
And that's who we've known has driven that car.
So, but, I mean, that could be Dean Thompson, for all we know.
Well, he did leave.
Yeah, I know.
Now, I forget if you were here for it, but I was talking a little bit with Dean about, he was doing the fighting program.
Yes, I walked out, but I've been watching his Instagram.
Lawless Allen was someone who actually joined him as his partner for that
Very
stuff.
good.
So don't get in a fight with either of those guys.
Yeah, note for all of you watching, if you're going to be in Las Vegas in March, don't pick a fight.
Here's your transfer spot battle, by the way. Josh Ayers holding it over the number 30.
Elizabeth with those eagle eyes up top watching this battle.
And this is the best battle on track right now as well. Baziana's going to try to make it on the outside here.
That outside line could work for you if you can make it happen. Now, when there's a pack of cars, you got to be a little leery, though, because you don't want to lose spots. He doesn't have a pack of cars to worry behind.
Did it. Completed the pass. Moves into the transfer spot. That is going to put that car into the main for now. As we are 4 laps in, halfway through, making lap number 5. Battle for second is heating up.
Turns 1 and 2, yeah.
Now, Tommy, tell me, if you're in, we talked about this a little bit earlier, if you're in, you play it safe, right?
Yeah.
What would be the benefit of me going from second place to third place? Why would this battle
A higher starting spot. You want to get track position. And Stephen was down there talking to the winner, Tyler Reif, the last heat race, and track position is key, especially now the big half mile, you got progressive banking, wide racetrack. This track's only got one bank, and it's typically a bottom groove track.
Look how low.
Or you go underneath.
Christian Bazin, noticing that the markers are not on track during this white flag lap. We've got the top 5. They look pretty set in stone. The battle for second's the good one. But coming out of turn number 4, the 25, Lawless Allen takes the victory. And Christian Bazin almost spun out coming to the
What'd
line.
you do that for, Chris?
Almost spun it out. So Lawless Allen, Spagnola, Christian Bazin, Kel Kanke, and Batsianis rounding out your top 5 transfers. Some of those haven't stopped racing yet. Josh Ayers just misses making the main event with Connor Stevens also not transferring. They will have to go through the B main where we will transfer 6. Our field, full field will be 26 cars.
So I want to give a shout out to Sticks, Jason
Well, down
Buckley.
here with Lawless Allen, and that's a super high caliber group of winners there. Bowman, Reif, and Lawless. And you had told me earlier you've never really run the oval here on the Hoosier tire, but seemed to work well for you. Great run in the heat race. You'll start inside of row 2 tomorrow. Obviously back your home racetrack, so must feel good to get the win.
Yeah, it feels really good to get the win. It's always the best start to win the first race. Just wish it was for the actual outright pole. But third place isn't a bad spot. We're lining up on the bottom tomorrow. Can't thank Ricky Schlick Racing and Auto Park It enough for putting me in a fast car, and we'll see how it is in the daytime with the sun beating down in the slick.
Well, good luck tomorrow. Great run for this guy, and how cool is it to have Lawless Allen back? Couple quick notes, guys. What a move there by Tyler Batsianis to get the 5th and final transfer. He got top 5 in the Roseville Legends points this year. First time we've ever had a Legends class at Roseville. And he's from the great racing town of Elk Grove, California. I think Kyle Larson would be pretty proud of that move on the outside by the fellow Elk Grove driver.
Steven, you make a great point. That is an unusual move here on the third mile. Not just passing on the outside, but he ran like a full lap and a half on the outside to complete it. So great move there. I think we found the Larson line on the 3rd mile.
Hey, whatever works. So I'm going to give a shout out real quick. Sticks, Jason Buckley tuning in from Legends Nation. All the info you could ever need from Legend Cars, Legends Nation. I'm a follower on the Instagram and the Facebook channel, and he's probably giving updates as we go here tonight and tomorrow from the Farewell Extravaganza.
Which leads us into our final heat race for the Legend cars. Getting ready again, 5 cars will transfer after 8 laps are completed. And Tommy, that's the 1 car.
That is the 1 car, not listed, but that is the 1 no less. That's a Donick St. Hours car, I believe.
Oh boy. Well, they're still working on this, but of the names we do have, we know the 42. That is Stephen Bazin. The 16 on the racetrack. We're waiting for that name, but that does say St. Hours on the window. Can you believe that?
I'm going to have to, because it does say that.
Remember when Donnie drove the Greg Biffle truck?
Yes, I do.
Good times. The 18, that is J.K. Kinney. Then row number 3 gives us the 53 of Mackenzie Montgomery. 7, waiting for the name to come in on that one, the 37 of Toby Olds. So 7 cars, 5 transfer spots. We're already slamming bumpers.
Now I see the 1W is listed, and that is Ashton Williams, who is not an as familiar looking race car. But either way, top 5 transfer. We go green.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we're banging fenders.
Toby Olds took the high line.
But there's a car on his outside.
Oh yeah. So it is the top 4 cars that are the tightest right now. We'll keep an eye on this battle. The 53 does hold the last transfer spot. That's Montgomery. We'll see if anything gets close to that 53. But for now, so far so good. Still early. I like heat races.
I do too. It spices it up. I'd love to see more of it. It's not a concept that pavement really embraces too much, because every driver you always hear about, oh, I don't want to hurt my car. I don't want to mess up the tires. Well, sometimes you gotta qualify anyways. Let's have fun with it.
But that's part of it too. It's like,
imagine having a race car and you just don't want to do anything with it.
Hey. But you're right. That has been an age-old argument that we've seen on the pavement side, and the 7 goes for a spin. Was closing in very quickly on Montgomery. Let's see if Elizabeth could get a nice big zoom on the 7. See if there's a name on there.
On the windshield.
Anywhere. Oh. Enhance. There's definitely a name on the door. When this car rolls by us on the front straightaway, we'll see if...
TJ might get it on his door. Shot 2. Nothing on the windshield, it looks like.
Pretty colors.
Let's see. Good luck.
Purple.
Purple.
The
Pretty
purple.
car, though.
The purple meanie.
I love the chrome numbers.
Yeah, they look good.
But we got a replay. You want to see what happened?
I do. I do. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a moment. So Montgomery in the 53 goes into the corner, misses the bottom, and the 7, I think, tried to see how much ground he can make up.
And it didn't work out. Whipped it around.
Because at first I thought maybe, I don't know, do you think the 7 was more just trying to not slam into the back?
Probably a little bit of both. Drove it in hard, spun it around, and thankfully did not make contact.
Is it weird to you that we're sitting up here right now?
On a Friday night?
And why we're sitting up here?
A few days before Christmas.
And the fact that this is like the last one. It's just this all feels
That I
so
can't
weird
believe.
to me.
I literally cannot believe that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not going to hit me until we're out of here, I promise you.
My laughter, by the way, was that the 7's going to have to get around the 37 again, and we saw how that went the first time. Here we go. Restart lap number 4. 4 laps to go.
Olds did spin the tire there. Tires. He has more than one. Now this does restack everybody in the top 5 again. And we did see the 53 have a little struggle there a few laps ago.
There's Montgomery, the black and yellow 53 being chased down by the black and purple number 7. That is the transfer spot. That is the most important position in this race.
Final chance for these legend car competitors.
And 2 laps to do it. Toby Olds is saving it for the B main.
Single file throughout.
We're going to see a move here, I think. I think this number 7's frustrated that we haven't said his name. So he's going to be like, you will know my name by the end of this race. White flag's in the air. Ashton Williams is our leader. We're going to keep an eye on this battle for the final lap.
Williams is going to cross the line, no pressure. And who's going to be
last chance?
Top 5 finisher. Oh, got loose there out of 4.
Wasn't able to complete. So Ashton Williams wins. Stephen Bazin, Donnie St. Hours, the number 18 of Kenny, and the 53 of Montgomery are your transfers. Toby Olds and the number 7 do not transfer. So as our winner gets to Steven, we will send it down for the winning interview.
Well, Ashton Williams, the driver out of Yucaipa, California, picking up the win here in heat race number 4. Now we know starting up front is going to be critical in this main event tomorrow. Now you're going to start 4th. Do you got what it takes to win tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the car's good. Got to make a couple more changes, but I think we got a good chance of winning today. I want to thank Donnie and all my sponsors, my mom, my dad, Brian, Burgertons, and Toyota for getting me here today.
Well, great to have you in victory lane. Good luck tomorrow for this guy, Ashton Williams. So we're going to have ourselves 3 SoCal drivers and a Las Vegas driver in the front 2 rows. The Southwest drivers are kind of dominating right now on the Legends, guys.
That is very true. Now we got skid plate cars. I don't know what to think about skid plate heat races, but here we are.
You don't have to worry about a transfer spot in this race. So everyone gets to chill out a little bit with this one.
So if you've tuned in here to see the Farewell Extravaganza and you've never, ever seen Irwindale Speedway in person, or you've never even seen a skid plate type of a race, well, let me do as much explaining as I can of something very incredible.
Yes.
These are front-wheel drive cars without rear tires. They have the rim, but they weld a metal plate to the bottom, and you can see the sparks, and you can see that they are limited control.
Elizabeth giving us the shot there. Thank you, Elizabeth. Now that is the number 3.
That should be Cheryl Highland, who's fogged up her window.
But I'm waiting to confirm here as this car drives by. Only because I have a couple names.
That's not a... Doesn't look like a red fire suit, though.
It doesn't. I think that might be Robert. So if it's not Cheryl, it's probably Robert Rice. 76, Ryder Gardner. The 6, Tommy?
AJ Hinsala.
Now, AJ, as you mentioned, he's used to driving skid plate cars.
Just not here.
Just not here. Not even in the state.
I do wonder what it's like, the difference between the Las Vegas bull ring and this track. Because the bull ring has a lot more banking, Jeffrey. You and I have thought, what would it be like the skid plate at the bull ring? Because we've done plenty of laps here at Irwindale.
Well, we're going green. And the front end of that 6 is Intimidate button.
Uh-oh, the 76 stalled.
He missed a shift.
He did. He's got to be weary of that top 5 transfer.
Yeah. Got to be careful. Now, the only other division that we will be talking about the transfer spot as of now, or at least as of when we got here, is the Pro Late Models.
Yeah.
We believe there might be some divisions that are close, but I don't think anything that's going to tip the scale into B-Main territory. But we'll see. You know, nice recovery for the 76.
Yeah, that thing, when everybody took the green, the 76 car did not. However, it has come back to life. Battle for the 2nd spot.
Now, you see that 6 smoking, and I think it's because it's dragging something.
It might be, yeah, maybe the back end. Who knows? You don't typically see smoke from the rear tires in these cars because they don't have rear tires. There's no tire rub.
I do want to give Hinsala credit. These 2 in front have a ton of laps on this racetrack, and skid plate racing is all about the feel.
Yes.
How hard you can push your car into the corner, how much you can lean. Good battle for the lead here, but Hinsala's hanging with them for being a driver that's used to driving on a track with more banking. All right, side by side for the lead. 76, Ryder Gardner on the inside, Robert Rice on the outside. We'll see. I won't be surprised if you and I find a compact car to just run everything in tomorrow.
I'd run the super lates in it, yeah. They'd have to go around me. I'll even point to the outside.
You'll be courteous.
Yeah.
Reach your hand out the passenger window.
We got a battle for the lead happening right here.
We do. Now, Gardner's struggling to complete the pass, which isn't totally unusual. These cars, you want to throw them into the corner like your average race car. But the problem is these cars want to drive up the track. And right here is where Ryder Gardner is going to be up against that.
Yeah.
His car wants to do it, and if you have contact, both these cars are going to spin out.
Exactly. Now, that is a strategy to pinch them down, but the problem is the risk outweighs the reward typically.
Ryder completes the pass but goes very wide.
Corey handed you a pre-entry list. I don't know if that'll help us, but we're going to use it.
It's not sorted, but
No, it's not.
It is. And there's no numbers.
That's not going to help.
That's going to be, but at least we can verify that someone's racing.
I want to give you the props that you gave Hinsala. Good eye, because AJ, again, these are his first laps in his skid plate car here.
Yeah.
And he's running it. Staying in the top 3, has yet to lose a spot.
Oh, what have we got here? Thank you. I was just handed a competition schedule.
In which it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know where it went.
Maybe Saturday's going to be more like...
Tommy, we got a good battle for second.
We do.
And I'm expecting chaos tomorrow. It's going to be utter chaos. You don't want to miss it. Tune in. it might not even be chaos in the race. It might just be chaos in us seeing if we can run 20 events on one night.
Yes.
Because we just don't care.
Yeah.
We just don't care. Like this is it. Like we're just going out there and running everything, giving everyone an opportunity, and that's the fun of this. As this battle for second continues, this is the final lap of the race. Way out ahead is Ryder Gardner in the number 76, and he will come out at turn number 4, see the checkered flag first, and grab himself another heat race victory here tonight.
But the battle is for second out of turn number 4, and it will be the 3 of whoever that may be.
Did it for Dale.
Or Robert Rice or whoever. Brett Winningham watching tonight's coverage.
Hi, Brett.
At NASCAR_Brett on X, enjoying skid plate racing with a screenshot. Good to have Brett with us. Tuned in, as well as all of you other fine folks here on trackvision.tv. Now, I want everybody on property, everybody at Irwindale Speedway, if you can hear my voice, pay attention. You don't have to look up, but you'll need to know where to go. Check your pockets, because one of you on this property, you're missing your cell phone. So if you're missing your cell phone, come up to the tower, and we have it for you, and we're making calls.
Well, I like your style coming into victory lane here at Irwindale Speedway for Ryder Gardner, and there's probably nothing in the world that compares to driving one of these. But how do you do it?
I don't know. I was just trying to go out there and throw some slide jobs. I don't know what happened to Robert, but I think he was sandbagging.
Well, we'll see if that's true tomorrow.
Drama.
Hey, Ryder Gardner with, I think he gets the Speed and Style Award for coming into victory lane like that, guys.
There's always something to be said about seeing the racing seatbelts with a very stock seat.
Yes.
It looks very comfortable, actually. Next up, we are going to have modifieds racing. Now, we've had a couple show up today, so that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
A couple extras showing up. As we will be moving to the half mile for, well, actually, let me verify that. No, yes, we are racing these on the half mile. We've been running modifieds on either track. So for me, this was a toss-up. We should run both.
We're doing it old school.
Darlington style.
Yeah, why not?
Turns 1 and 2 will be the half mile. Turns 3 and 4 will be the third mile.
I see Charlie made it down. Charlie's made it down to turn 1.
He did.
He did?
Look at that.
He's a good boy with his earplugs. There's Charlie right there. My mom calls him not Corvette.
Should we interview the person who lost?
Yes, we should. Come on down.
Okay.
Go next door.
Yeah.
Who lost your phone? We found the phone lost, sir.
The phone loser.
The phone loser.
We were going to do an interview about what it's like for them to have lost their phone. But he did not want an interview. I'll give you a hint. He's young. That's my hint. All right. We've got a couple cars on track. Some of these older than others. And this will be fun. Robbie Klutz on the racetrack. That's 75. We see him a lot. The 2K there, that is Brian Rodello. And again, there's Klutz. There's 75. See him often racing out in Vegas. And Eric Reed, that number 66. Another good-looking modified joining us here tonight. Again, for those of you that maybe don't know the timeline, there was like a month and a half for anybody, maybe less than that in a lot of cases, to prepare for this event. And what we committed to is, you know, here at Irwindale, we said, look, we're going to have a race for this division. Whoever shows up, great. Whoever doesn't show up, well, sorry you couldn't be here. But, you know, hey, we've got some modifieds that made it out here. We're happy to have them. We're happy to race them. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So cool to see these cars. I don't know what to fully expect for tomorrow, but there may be drivers that weren't able to make it out yesterday that will come out and race. I said yesterday, race today, and will come out to race tomorrow. So we don't know if the car counts may rise, but the anticipation is that there are probably a couple people, maybe a few modifieds out there that might join us for the Saturday edition of racing. Today, we still have that pillow, that buffer, where it's like, hey, we still have today to get through before we get to the actual final day of Irwindale Speedway. But tomorrow will be an interesting one as we gear up, as Southern California going to lose one of the best racetracks in the nation, unfortunately, here at Irwindale Speedway. The number 2 will lead us away. Rodello looking for the green. And Klutz wastes no time in the 75 to dip to the inside and try to make something happen. Reed going to make the pass for second. Way down to the apron goes Klutz. And I mean way down to the apron. 75 is committed to that inside line, and that's allowing Reed running the higher line to get a lot of momentum built and make the pass for the lead. Eric Reed did make the pass. Here comes Klutz back on the inside. This is the heat racing we like to see. Well, I think Reed is comfortable running that higher line. And this is another thing to consider. A lot of the drivers that are racing with us this weekend are drivers that have never raced here at Irwindale Speedway, be it on the 3rd or half mile. And so they're just learning what they're comfortable with, where they're willing to put their cars, what they're willing to do to try and win this race. And it is fun. It's going to be fun to see. It's almost got that feel of an opening night. And I mean an opening night back when everybody couldn't figure out what to do with progressive banking at Irwindale Speedway. Some of the Tucson drivers had an idea of what to do with it.
Eric Reed, Jeffrey, we've seen Eric racing in the Spears Modified Series in the past. In fact, he's even raced in an ARCA car, ARCA Menard Series West. But we get to see him racing his Modified here at Irwindale Speedway, which we don't get to see often because Eric is not from Southern California.
But it's a good-looking Modified.
It sure is. We've seen him race at the Bull Ring in the past with this Modified. And now he gets the cap off Irwindale Speedway's legacy with it.
I'm counting.
What are you counting?
I think we have 4 divisions left.
And one of them, I believe, with 4 heat races.
Yes, sir. It is 9 o'clock as the white flag flies.
No problem, as long as they don't pack up the barbecue. Because I think this is just now when it was supposed to end.
And the thing that I'm happy about, well, no, you know what? I'm not going to say it yet.
Okay.
I'm just not.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, you know what I shouldn't say. Eric Reed takes the victory in the modifieds. Klutz second. Rodello third. I see ARCA West cars back there.
They are getting ready now. This should be, unless they're going to surprise us, this should be, Jeffrey, a traditional single car qualifying session.
The night heat racing?
Or not? Or chicken.
You know, it's funny.
Apparently, Cole Custer said, how much does it pay to win the heat race? I don't know. I'm just totally making it up. But should be traditional single car qualifying. Stephen Blakesley with Eric Reed.
Well, the guy with just about the best hometown from Bountiful, Utah gets the bounty there, wins the heat race in the modifieds for Eric Reed. You can go ahead and lower your window net. Man, you had kind of a rough Las Vegas, so it must feel good to come back and get a win here at Irwindale.
We did, man. We had a rough open show. We had high hopes for it, and I didn't make it happen. But I'm just so excited to be at Irwindale. I'm so sad it's close, and man, I can't thank the Huddlestons and the
all the staff enough, man. This place is awesome. It's sad, but I appreciate being here.
Yeah, the modifieds, they look pretty cool out there. How much fun is it in the driver's seat?
Oh, they're one of my favorite cars to drive. Does it still got back wheels? It's like a rocket ship in here, man. It was on rails, and I can't thank the competitors that came out enough. I know we only got 2 other guys out here, but thanks so much, everybody, to come out. Yeah, modifieds are a blast, man.
Yeah, modifieds are always cool. The mod squad here at Irwindale for Eric Reed, and yeah, when he went across the finish line, he was going so fast they might as well hit the parachutes like a dragster. He was moving there.
Very good, Steven. Thank you. I like that. Are the rear wheels
still back there?
Yeah. You're still making me laugh about your call.
They're still there.
Thank you.
TJ with a shot of the rear wheels. They're in fact doing a little stamping. You see the officials walking around stamping the tires.
What, are they going to mail them?
Yeah. You got to send them, lick the stamp and send it.
Fair enough. Yeah. No, so this is a traditional qualifying session.
This should be until they surprise us.
Now, here's the question I have for you.
Okay.
Is when is the last time you ever heard of the ARCA West or ARCA East being able to just run an exhibition somewhere?
I don't believe I've ever heard that.
Because I don't think so either.
But rules are meant to be broken, and I don't think there was a rule to begin with.
I mean, we're going to break a lot of rules. Don't miss it all weekend long here on TrackVision.tv.
Now, Jeffrey,
Low Budget TV.
Thank you for the plug. And
You're welcome.
I hated that I overrode it with you.
By Low Budget TV.
There you go. Here's where it's going to get tough. Jan's Racing.
I know.
Brought every car that they had in the garage. No, actually, there's a lot more. But they were only meant to run the 9 and 71.
Yeah.
That's the only numbers that they run.
And to be fair, they are running the 9 and the 7.
But they brought their backup cars, their primaries.
I love it, though. Thank you.
Look at all these.
Thank you for bringing out all these cars.
So remember, the black roof is Kyle Color.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Sure. Now, can Elizabeth pan forward to the first car?
Yeah, no, this sucks.
What color roof is that?
The fluorescent one?
Is that a fluorescent yellow?
That looks
roof?
to be Dean Thompson.
Okay. Mean Dean. I love that he was like, where did that nickname come from?
I don't know.
Corey, now you've officially been called out for that nickname.
That's right.
I love how Dean was like, oh my God, that's right, I did do that. Now, I want to actually circle back to that story because I feel like a couple things happened during it. To be clear,
yes,
Dean did not break someone's rib, but he was on track and the track actually started falling apart.
But it was just a little chunk.
It was a chunk that came off of the track.
Yep.
And it actually. This was on practice day, I think it was.
Not even in competition. They were out there running practice, and a little piece of trunk of the track came off the car in front of him, whipped it in the air. He was the next car to hit it, busted through the radiator and whatnot. However, it ricocheted off, and the crew guys standing around the side of the track. So again, anybody on property here or any other racetrack from here on out, always be aware of your surroundings because they were just standing off to the side taking lap times.
Yeah.
And boom, it actually was a spotter who was just spotting practice from the sidelines, hit him in the rib, and went to the hospital, fractured the rib. No spotter for the rest of the weekend for Christian McGee. They had to find some backup. Christian McGee goes and wins the Chili Willy.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted it to be clear in case anyone's like, I heard that Dean Thompson broke someone's ribs.
Yeah.
It was very much not Dean's fault.
Hey, I have to interject.
Uh-oh.
Because I can't take full credit for that nickname. Jeffrey set me up for that because we were sitting around in the hotel room.
Did I?
And Jeffrey says, or Tommy says, wow, Dean broke Christian McGee spotter's ribs. And Jeffrey said, that was mean of Dean. And I just put it together, Mean Dean.
Mean Dean.
So I gave the layup and Corey finished it up.
Well, Dean Thompson, I don't know if you just saw it, but he touched the grass there over in turns number 1 and 2 on his first lap, green flag lap for the 9T of Dean Thompson.
Now, Dean's big on social media. He's probably had to tell someone to touch grass, and now he's the one doing it. He's going to do it again. All right. Well, I guess we're back to that traditional Qualifying, where I'm going to give you lap times. 19:05.8 is lap number 1 for Dean Thompson. He brought it up like 2 or 3 times now. He still is disappointed about almost getting it done here in the ARCA car. He wants this win this weekend. 18.470, that is his time that he'll be sticking with. Nick Joanitis, it is so good to see Nick back at the racetrack in an ARCA car nonetheless.
I feel like I might be stepping over line a little bit, but I probably am not wrong in saying this for everybody. We all didn't know if Dean was going to, we didn't know if Nick was going to be around to see the end of this race with all of his health issues, but this is it right here.
Yeah.
One of the winningest drivers here at Irwindale Speedway, doing one last weekend of racing, takes it to the grass.
And he's also the driver the last time the ARCA cars were here, got the pole.
Yes.
19.018 was lap number 1, 18.673. He will not get the pole here this weekend, but that was good enough for second of 2. I know that's not saying much, but pretty close lap so far as Adrian Ferrer in the number 3 takes to the racetrack.
Adrian's been practicing a little bit during the off-season, a little testing, but this is an exhibition race, but we can call it a debut, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I will.
Adrian taking the white flag, his first lap. Good for third.
His first lap is good for the pole. Just so you know, the timing and scoring here is set for,
Gotcha. Okay.
I can fix that.
Adrian knocking him down here tonight.
Faster, 18.174 for Adrian Ferrer as the 71 of Nick, just kidding, Robbie Keneally.
This is the second 71.
Just imagine someone going to the races for the first time this week and like, now why would they do this?
So you see the little K there? Thank you, Team Jans Racing.
Could have been bigger.
Robbie Keneally out of turn number 4. White flag waves his first lap.
18.657. That's good enough for just barely beating out Nick Joanitis, third of 4th. Third of 4, I should say.
And he's going to take it down to the stripe. Lap number 2. Going to come to the books.
And it will be 18.383, second fastest, Robbie Keneally.
Cole Custer now back at Irwindale Speedway in his Haas 55 High Point Racing ARCA Menard Series West race car. The last time he raced in that familiar paint scheme was on a road course, but the last time he's been here at Irwindale Speedway, years and years ago.
And it's so cool to me, like, because Cole's dad, we used to interact with him. He would buy DVDs to watch Cole race. That guy runs a Cup Series stuff now, Xfinity.
He's a little busy.
Yeah, just a little busy. So great to see what this family's been able to accomplish, what they're going into in 2025. And Cole Custer is right now an 18.101. He's already got the pole. And he went slower on lap number 2. He didn't need to go faster. But it was an 18.208 for those keeping track. Cole Custer on the pole as Kyle Keller in the third number 9 goes out on the racetrack. Or is this just the second number 9?
I think this is the 10th number 9 or 71.
The 9 number 9. This is the second number 9 that's hitting the track, to be clear. And Kyle Keller comes to the white flag, takes lap number 1. It is an 18.550.
Keller's going to touch the grass there a little bit over in turn 2 entry.
5th fastest.
Looking to see Kyle hopefully full time next year in this ride. I believe that was announced.
You better hope so.
Oh, Rife almost taking the wall out of turn number 4, trying to get some heat in the tires, and he's going to kill his first lap. But thankfully, that was on the first one.
Well, Kyle Keller ran an 18.102. Do you know why that's significant? Because Cole Custer ran an 18.101.
Oh, my goodness.
1,000th of a second here. If you guys don't think that these drivers are pushing it here today. Now, this is lap number 1 in 18.463. You already made the point that for Rife, this was kind of a throwaway lap. His run to the start-finish line was kind of killed. He's going to try and pick it up here. This is a driver who got poles last year. He got wins last year. This was the team that won the Owners' Championship, and it will be, for now, the car that's starting on the pole. Fastest time in 18.013. He does better than Cole Custer and Kyle Keller.
Still got a couple left to go here in qualifying. And this was the driver that is going to be down as the winningest driver in the history of Irwindale Speedway, the Race Car Factory 50 of Trevor Huddleston. Now what can he do in the final ARCA Menard Series West exhibition race and the first ARCA Menard? This is the inaugural and the final.
Yeah. Well, he's working it down the back straight away.
You can see all the fog on these windows because they've been sitting in the humidity, which is what we're not used to seeing here.
Yeah, it is. I was going to say it's a very foggy, not very foggy, but it is a foggy night. It is also a cold night. The temperatures are ideal right now for a qualifying session. And that time by Trevor Huddleston ran an 18:02. He needs to make up 7,000ths of a second if he wants to be on the pole tomorrow night. Checkered flag comes out, and it is a 17:985 for Trevor Huddleston. When is the last time that we saw speeds like that?
Wow.
Are we running Goodyears?
Where's Butch Gillen? Bring him back out.
I mean, that is crazy. We've seen those old tires that
the old cars way
different
back
compounds.
when.
You're right. So incredible times here.
You sure we want to close this place down?
No. I know I'm not sure. Jeffrey Peterson, lap number 1. It is an 18:248. And I'm going to have to do math to figure out where he is because my scoring's not set up for that. I've been doing it all in my brain
impressive.
right now. Don't worry. We'll get you the full lineup here. Checkered flag flies for the number 9, 18:355. Slower lap number 2. Trevor Huddleston gets the pole with the ARCA Menards West cars in an unsanctioned race. I don't even know what I would call this.
This is an exhibition.
I don't even know what to call it.
This is awesome is what it is.
It's awesome. Huddleston gets the pole. It is Cole Custer. No. It is Huddleston, Reif, Custer, Keller. And we'll have a printout of the entire lineup after this.
Let's see if Steven can stop our pole sitter.
Good luck, Steven.
He's getting ready. See all the cars going by. This will be a fun exhibition race. Cool to see Jeffrey Peterson get behind the wheel of one of these. I don't think he's ever raced an ARCA anything.
Well, guys, I am looking forward to this ARCA Menard Series West race. It's not too often that you get an ARCA race that's not for points, just for bragging rights. And other than maybe some Jefferson Pitts cars and some BMR cars, we got all the heavy hitters here. And Trevor Huddleston gets it done by 28 1,000ths in qualifying. And that's got to be just unbelievably special to be the last fast time qualifier for an ARCA car here at Irwindale. But now the big task is this is a really quality field. What's it going to take to win tomorrow?
Yeah, no doubt. The field might not be big, but everyone has a chance of winning tomorrow. So it's super special. You know, I've been watching the ARCA cars ever since I was a kid coming out here, and always dreamed of obviously racing them. And thanks to my parents and able to get the last pole in the blue and pink 50 car that my dad made famous way back when. Something super special. Man, it's going to be emotional to not be able to come here every Saturday. But it's pretty special to see everybody that came out tonight, to kind of hang out with our friends and family. We're all out here having fun, right? You know what I mean? We're going to race tomorrow, but this race is different. You know, we're all out here for something more, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Well, and now you got to go to work in the late model a bit, but you got some confidence now, right?
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, High Point Racing, Race Car Factory always bring good cars. Sometimes we just have some bad luck, but we are going to have fun. It's the last night, right? That's what we're out here. No points, nothing on the line. It's just to enjoy ourselves.
Well, good luck this weekend. How about that? I mean, you think about it, guys. This weekend is already kind of storybook with Lawless getting a heat race win, Trevor Huddleston taking fast time in the ARCA West. It's just the flavor of this down here is really cool. We've had some out-of-town racers do well, which has kind of been a tradition for this track. It's kind of a magnet for people from all over the country to come here to Irwindale. But when the going gets tough, that's when the Irwindale regulars really step up.
Very well said, Steven. As we have the lineup here, I'm going to give it all to you so you don't feel too left out. The 50 of Trevor Huddleston got the pole. We just heard from him. And then it was the 13 of Tyler Reif, the 55 of Cole Custer, The number 9, there's a lot of those, of Kyle Keller. I saw you making hand gestures at me, and Corey, I was afraid. I thought you were going to put the bunny head back on. So Keller 4th, and then Adrian Ferrer. How about this, folks? This is a 15-year-old from Madrid, Spain, joining us here. Tommy just handed me something very exciting. So Ferrer getting the 5th fastest time. This isn't necessarily the type of cars that Adrian's used to running. Then you got Jeffrey Peterson in the 6th position. 7th was Robbie Keneally. 8th, Dean Thompson. And 9th, Nick Joanitis. So those are your 9 ARCA Menards Series West cars that have qualified here. Nice turnout of those cars. Once again, did not know what to expect when they announced that they were going to be racing out here. But one thing you can always expect, Tommy, is if there's an Enduro and there's a 4-cylinder race, you could probably expect Bobby Osmond to be around.
That is for sure. Welcome to the booth here, Bobby Osmond.
Well, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. This is a pretty interesting night, and it's like everybody's saying, it's really sad that this place is going to go. Well, many of us have spent most of our lives here, especially you guys announcing everything. It's been great to have you guys here.
Well, we love it. We love it just like you love it, Bobby. Obviously, we've had different paths and runs here with what we're doing. Tom and I tried to compete with you guys in the Enduro class, but it's probably a good thing that Tim asked us to do this instead.
For you guys.
For all of our sake. But no, I mean, what a run it's been for you here. Your Irwindale career is pretty storied.
Yeah, I've been blessed. It's, the thing is I kind of stepped away from car racing and got into street luge and skateboard racing, and then my dad bought me a ticket here at LA Racing, and I got hooked, put in a few thousand laps over there, and then Michael A. got me into an Enduro, and it was like, okay, I was hooked. And I heard about you guys out there, but I never got to compete with you guys.
No, absolutely. And that was a different type of car because you didn't race the early Enduros where they were kind of junkers. You guys have brought the real class to the Enduro class, which they're, in some places call them compact or front-wheel drive or mini stocks or whatever. And that's been something really fun to see grow into, because at first it had a bit of a slow start, but you guys have brought in a bunch of cars from all over, and everybody's competitive. But you guys also race different racetracks a lot on this, and it was always kind of like we don't know what the track we're going to run until they throw the green flag. What was one of your favorite racetracks?
Oh, are you talking way back when or just with the Enduro?
Just from when you're racing Enduro.
Kern's really interesting. I like Kern, and it's going to be interesting to go up there and leave here and go up there. But I'd have to say Irwindale is one of the best tracks. It's been around. I worked down the street for 40 years, so I got to see him build this place and watch all the races and come here when I was a kid. And I used to race over here at 605 on the other side of the freeway, so we saw that one get torn down, and now this one. It's really sad for Southern California.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's just an unfortunate reality is the land is so valuable, and us racing on it, we just do what we can for how long we can.
Well, we got our spec racers on track. Bobby, you're free to hang out with us.
Yeah, you got to give us the driver's perspective.
Yeah, but to start this one off, the number 50, I just realized I just reset my entire thing. Tommy, you give the lineup. I'm going to fix this.
Tanner Huddleston will bring the field to the green in his number 50. Ron Navit is outside. So this is a class that we get to see here on the regular, and it's always been mixed up between the spec late models, the spec trucks, or the pro trucks. And right now it's Huddleston out to the lead. Battle is back here.
I know Nava's really wanting to take this race, and he's been talking a lot about it and wanting to win this at the very end of the career of Irwindale.
Yes, he's been up front battling for the wins out here, has yet to seal a deal this season that I can remember. I could be wrong. He might have grabbed a win here this year. Either way, though, that 72 truck is technically leading, and I don't know how they're going to score it in the heats, but he would be technically leading the spec truck battle here as Tanner Huddleston in his spec late model out to the lead. The nearest competitor he's got is 43.
Pretty fun to see Andrew Porter back on track in the trucks, and we know that Andrew's been, raising the family back at home and going to be able to come on out here, and really the whole Porter family.
Yep.
Kenny Smith and all of them. It's just always good to see them hanging out in the pit area.
So we're watching the battle between the white 53 and the green 88, Gizendanner and Curtis Burns in the 53. But I want to point out the black 43 up ahead. There is a driver name that is not allowed to be on the track.
Yep.
But he's doing it one last time.
Don't tell his doctor.
Nope.
That's Kenny Smith.
Cowboy Kenny back for one last ride here at Irwindale Speedway against doctor's orders. He had a vicious crash years ago, and the doctor said no more. You can't be doing this.
To bring things full circle, that was the race that we were talking about with Dean Thompson.
That's true.
Because the last time he called a race with us, Kenny Smith had his big wreck. And Dean's like, oh, I hope I'm not to blame. And I said, Dean, you are. Don't worry.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Bob, you've already done your heat racing for the night.
Yes.
Is there any different feeling to doing a heat race versus a main event? Obviously, you got a lot more cars and a lot more meaning behind the main event, but it's still a race, right? You still want to win it.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, it was great to do heat races, and let me step back a little bit with Kenny here in the 43. That's a multi-champion that's been around, and he raced with my dad over at 605 in different tracks, and you know, Kenny will never step away, no matter how old he gets. That's Cowboy Kenny.
And I'm going to cut in right here because they are coming to the checkered flag. The 50 is going to win in the cars, but it is a nice way to finish off the heat race between Porter and Nava. Porter just barely getting that victory there in the heat race. And Tommy, like you said, we'll figure out exactly how they're dealing out. Like, are we interviewing each car? I don't know. So our finishing order there, Tanner Huddleston wins overall over Andrew Porter and Ron Nava in their spec trucks. Stephen Flood in the number 88, by the way.
Oh,
not Gizendanner.
I ruined it.
What do you think?
We got
you
him all
can't do that.
twist-tied.
I wanted you on a leash, Bobby. A lot of people wondering what we're doing up here right now. Kenny Smith in the 43. He finishes in the 5th spot. Curtis Burns, who's done late model racing out here in his truck. 6th and 7th was Robin Andrews. So we'll see. I think Steven's going to be busy down there, and he's just going to do one.
That's okay. It probably just quicker to do overall.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll give that pass.
Drop your window net, Tanner.
Rookie.
Got a lot,
So
of, blue, a lot of blue cars
I was
this
wondering,
weekend.
guys, what the superstition would be like if sometimes guys don't like to see the trophy or think about the trophy. What if you're the guy that made the trophy? Is there any superstition there? You made the trophy and you got a great shot to win the trophy tomorrow.
Right? Yeah, that was fun. Man, in the 3 and I hit the brakes and fell on ice for a lid and I didn't turn, but this car is perfect and I can't wait to get it.
Back straight away, getting ready to go. I don't know if you know, your brother got quick time in the ARCA series, so that's a good about 10 or 15 minutes here for the Huddlestons.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, he was fast in that one. That was crazy. It's been a good day so far. We'll see. Hopefully the late model is just as good.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so all those beautiful trophies you see in Victory Lane tomorrow, this guy made them. Tanner Huddleston gets the win in the heat race for the Spec Racers.
There's a nice little insight there. Thank you, Steven. Getting that interview with our winner, Tanner Huddleston, as we gear up for heat race number 2 now. I'll give a quick rundown, and then, Tommy, I think you guys were just in the middle of a point, so I'll let you get back to it. But let's run through here. The number 20, the question is, which partridge is racing at this time?
Well, I got some info for you.
You're going to tell me it's not any partridge?
None of them.
Oh, who is it?
The last time it was either Andy or Ryan. But this time, it's not a partridge, it's a Jones. Jagger Jones behind the wheel of the number 20.
Now, do you know that? Because last time we thought we knew who was in this.
That is very true. I saw him practicing yesterday.
Okay, all right.
I'm assuming.
Well, we got the McNeils in the house. Jacob McNeil starting 2nd. And then we got that 78 car. Not showing up right now on our scoring,
Lucas,
but who could that possibly be?
Yeah, it's got to be Lucas.
Then the 19 in the field. The 71 of Bobby Vandermoren. How about that? I have 96 listed, by the way, of Dalton Hunter.
It says 13 on the door, but we'll give it 96. Why
It
not?
does.
I like it
does.
for me.
I'm just letting you know. So we're going racing. We are green. They were very fast on this one. I thought we were going to have more chill out time.
So, Bob, Bobby, since you are what we call experienced.
Yes.
Speedway 605 across the freeway in this place. Any similarities or none at all?
Oh, the third mile's much bigger here, and it's a lot nicer, and you don't have the old wood walls and the, what do you call it, the telephone poles laying down on the infield and stuff.
Did you miss those?
I never hit them.
Okay,
That's what you're asking.
So you missed them every time. That's
Every
good.
time.
Oh, trouble! Over in the corner, we got 2 trucks, and it's both of the McNeil trucks. It almost had the look that either something broke on the 97 or fluid may have been involved, because it just looked like both trucks had nowhere to go. I don't know if the 78 jumped on the brakes, but we'll take a look at a replay after we assess some of the damage here.
Front end damage for the 97 of Jacob, rear end damage for Lucas.
And you know that this weekend, much like for all of us here, but the McNeils have been supporting this track and this specific series, in some cases almost keeping the truck series alive and going out here. This is a very important weekend to them, and I imagine they're going to be thrashing on these.
Yeah, this is where the thrashing begins, unfortunately, as the event really gets started for the racing program.
So there's the damage.
Looks like the 78 might have a little bit of toe out there after that accident.
Did look like he caught the wall. So let's take a look at what happens here. What can we assess from this?
Looks like fluid of some sort. Both of those trucks snap around without contact.
And what I'm trying to figure out here is, as the 97 starts to get loose, does Lucas and the 70? No, it's almost like
synchronized
at the same time.
Synchronized slide. Now, either there's fluid there, or just somehow. Wow.
Now we heard it broke up a little bit, but Tanner made the reference. He just won the previous race, and he was talking about how at one point it felt like driving on ice. Is it possible that due to the temperatures in that area where we often see a lot of cars running, it's probably very rubbered up? Is it possibly just slicker than these drivers anticipate?
Quite possibly. I was watching the wheel of the lead car, the 97, and you can see him working the wheel, but same thing for the 78. It's synchronized, like they hit fluid.
That's what it looks like.
Might be a little bit of the dew out there. It is
Could be.
really heavy air tonight.
Did you have to put on your defrosters?
I don't have defroster.
Well,
you should get them.
That's why you're supposed to race early.
I got my wipers, though.
There you go. Yeah, you'd have raced in the rain out here before.
That is legal in Enduro.
There's Jacob McNeil's number 97.
You can see that front bumper
I just
twisted up.
I just want to point this out. Is he putting the steering wheel back on?
Yeah.
Is he getting ready to drive this thing back? Did they just have to take off the hood?
Well, you can hope that the thrashing is not too late, but it's going to be a thrash. He's driving away.
He's got a few bars there he's going to have to work on.
Unfortunate part of these heat racing action. Anything can happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if that could have happened in a qualifying session later on.
And again, joining us up here, Bobby Osman, regular in our Enduro series, been doing a lot of racing for many years. What did you call it? Not seasoned.
Experienced. Seasoned.
Experienced.
Semi-experienced.
Semi-experienced. I didn't know you drove semis.
He went downhill on 4 wheels that were.
I was going to say, careful. I thought you were going to call him out. Like, man, he really went downhill.
He went downhill. When he went to Enduro, he went down.
He only won, 8 races.
You're an X Games medalist, so you must have liked that street luge stuff then.
It was. That's after I started 605 and everything, Dad didn't have the money to keep me going and everything. And, I got into high school and found the girls, and it was all about skateboarding and local mountain, Glendora Mountain Road, and went up there, and we used to ride when the road was open and just got hooked. And just before the X Games came out, they were doing some qualifiers and, said, hey, I could do that. Where's all my buddies? No buddies were there. So I was able to qualify for the X Games and compete in the X Games for 5 years and get a couple gold medals and silver medal. And so I was blessed with a great season there.
What I think of street luge, just from what I've seen, and I think these people are crazy. So, like, is going from that to the Enduro racing, like, is Enduro just, like, feel like you're on a Sunday drive after doing stuff like that? Or?
Oh, no. but you got to remember, with age comes roll cage, So I got busted up right after the X Games and wasted out my hip. So, the wife says, no, you need to you need to protect yourself. And so I brought the Enduros after Michael A. got me into the Enduro. And
That is true.
I presented it. She wasn't real happy, but she accepted it, and here we are.
Michael A. He's created a number of monsters around this racetrack. Tommy and I can probably be attributed to that because he helped us in a lot of ways when we were getting started with a lot of the demolition racing that we took part in for, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
It's just funny to hear because I know that he was also big on putting a bunch of people into a bunch of different cars. As I want to point this out, Elizabeth getting the shot here, they are looking in that area.
They're searching for probably any form of fluid, or they're kicking the ground like the dew that Osmond said. And also picking up all the little pieces.
Maybe we'll send the Enduro cars out there, warm that area up.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to get on the half mile with the Enduro for 4 years now.
Well, you can still try and work it out because we're going to be moving to the half mile up in Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway, so maybe Bobby will get some half mile racing going on with your Enduro car.
I'm all for that. Beginning of the season, I was able to take the next gen car that I have, the RSX, and during practice night and get it out on a half mile. But it was fresh, so I wasn't really on it. But It was really nice after being LA racing there and doing that, and nice to get back on the half mile.
And that would be a throwback because at Mesa Moran, they did run a sport compact class.
Yep.
So, I mean, it wouldn't be unusual to see those kind of cars racing it up on the half mile. As we're taking a look at this half mile over in turn number 3. And, again, this is going to come up a lot because it's the weekend that it is. But it's just weird to me. I look over in turn 3. It's such a familiar area for us to just look over and be like, oh, yeah, they're cleaning it up. My mind will not wrap around the fact that what we're looking at isn't going to be there.
That's true.
In a couple months.
Yep.
Like, I know, like, a lot of us don't want to talk about it, but, like,
yeah.
Like, it's just so weird. It's bizarre. I hate it.
Has it clicked for you, Bobby? Because it hasn't for me. That this is the final one.
No.
Like, I don't think I'll realize it until a month from now, maybe.
I'll tell you what I'm glad about. Like I said, I work right down the street for 40 years now. I watched them build this place. I had a power equipment operator that worked at our facility, kind of knew the owners when they were building it, so he brought me over a lot when they were first building it. And I'm really glad. I'm going to be retiring in January 29th.
Okay.
I don't have to drive past this place after that.
True.
I watch them tear this place down. I watch them build it. I don't want to see them tear it down. And like I said, I'm glad I'm retired and not going to have to watch it.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm just aging myself.
Well, no, it's all right. Don't like you said, old guys rule, okay? Like,
I like that one.
That's all you got to know.
I never lived by that one, but I'll go. I'll take it.
Well,
this
that's
time.
because maybe up till recently you didn't identify with the old guys as much. Maybe you won't ever.
I try not to.
Yeah. Good. So, they've assessed the track, Tommy. We are putting the lights out. No speedy drive's been put down. The indicator there, and again, I want to point this out. We did just get done with the ARCA cars on track qualifying. Didn't have an issue there. We also had a race.
We did see a couple of cars nearly take the wall down in that ARCA qualifying,
yes, we did.
Getting up to speed.
I think that was the 40. What car was that?
That was a 13.
13, yes.
Yeah, right.
But we had a race since then.
That's right.
So I mean, I don't know what happened.
Everybody running low.
Yep.
They are doing that. Now I know why the modifieds were running on the apron. As we go back to racing, lap number 1, only 1 lap completed. 7 laps to go. Now there's no risk of a B main for this division. They got a little bit close. We had a great turnout, but we're not going to have to worry about that. So if those trucks can get repaired as the caution comes out, remember, it's got to look good.
Got to look good. Jagger had a good restart, but it might have been too good.
Jagger is getting used to driving cars that don't have as many fenders.
Yeah, I mean, Indy Next driver that is used to that front and rear wing.
I say getting used to. He's been doing it for years now.
But I mean, he raced stock cars out here. He knows what he's doing.
He did.
Absolutely. Is it fun for you, Bobby, to be in the pits rubbing elbows with the people that you've seen years ago come back home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice, and like Tanner was saying, or Trevor was saying, it's the whole family, and we all really enjoy that time with each other and coming out here and being with each other. Even though we're all rivals and enjoying the racing and want to win, we're all family here. And the Huddleston family is, spent a lot of time and effort to keep this place alive and keep us all together. And, we just want everybody that's listening and watching to definitely, tap into Kern and see what Tim can do up there. He's going to do some good things up there.
Yeah, and for those that enjoy the show at Irwindale Speedway, it's effectively the same people running the show up there. So, if you're enjoying what you see out here, like you said, the big thing's going to be hopefully we can get some of the competitors to jump that grapevine. We always talk about it's that grapevine seems just so big for the race car drivers a lot of the time.
It is, and I think we're going to go green here.
We are going to go green, Bobby, as we go back to racing again, lap number 1 restart.
That was a better start.
I think they're going to let them keep that one. Jagger Jones way down low, and he's going to gap the field now as they're going to go side by side for the 3rd spot. Vandermoren in that 71. Bobby, though. That is Bobby Vandermoren.
But we got a Bobby up here.
It's a good name. What do you expect?
I guess so.
I expect success.
I got breaking news.
Yeah?
Watch this. Now, it might not be perfect, but scoring is online.
The 55J of Jones is leading over the 20 of Jones.
Who's plus or minus a lap.
Good enough. I'll take it.
At least you can see the lap count.
Oh, I like that plus or minus like you're saying for
Yeah. So I don't know if you knew this, Bobby, but there has been a panic attack fire drill up here all night.
Really?
Because we're asphalt people. We're not used to the dirt racing style heat races, but we're also not used to 20 divisions on a weekend.
Exactly.
And heat racing and whatnot. So it's been a pandemonium between the system down below inputting the driver names and transponders and the system up here deciding, you know what, let's crap out today on the most important of the qualifying type stuff.
Right, but that's all right because then everything's going to go perfect tomorrow.
Well, and you know what?
You find some wood and please knock it right now. There we go.
The reality is, so what? We're just having fun this weekend.
Exactly.
Well, we are having fun in the battle for 3rd right now as it continues to be Hunter versus Vandermoren. And we might have a battle looming for the lead. We'll stay on this battle for now as there are 2 laps to go. But I'm keeping an eye on your top 2 cars right now as well.
And nothing happening yet with the top 2, but...
Not yet. And interesting note, watch the 13 and watch where that truck enters. This is the exact same spot.
Loose. Yep, there it is.
Oh! Huge hit for the 13 truck into the wall.
So we know now not to go to the outside.
And Jeffrey was calling it.
Yeah. I was hoping I was going to make the point of, do you see this truck is doing all right in that lane?
Yeah, it was looking good at the beginning there, and then all of a sudden it just snapped a little bit on him.
Now this truck and that contact on the front end has me worried about it being able to make it back out here.
Drops the window net. Good to see.
Dalton Hunter. Now, we have it listed as the 96 of Dalton Hunter, but we are guessing that is that number 13. And we're going to take a look at a replay.
So down in a turn number 3.
And we're going to have an interview here, I believe, with Jagger Jones as this race has gotten the checkered.
Man, just the cool drivers to be back here at Irwindale Speedway just continues with the moves like Jagger Jones here. And it's so great to have you back here on the West Coast in a stock car. Even if it is a spec late model, it's still a lot of competition there. And he's getting the helmet off to give us a word here. Always cool when the grandson of the great Parnelli Jones is in the house. So great to have you back here at Irwindale. I got a little bit of smoke, it seems like, coming out of the car. How was it running? How was the race there for you?
It was all right. There was a lot of cautions, and I don't know. We have some issue with something with the brakes, but the car's rocket ship fast. And last one showing here for me at Irwindale, a place that means a lot. Did a lot of racing here. 2018, 2017, 2019, and it would be really, really cool to go back to Victory Lane tomorrow one last time. And it's really unfortunate to see what's going to happen to this place, but it's good that we're all here celebrating it, and I'm just having a blast.
Yeah, so glad to have this guy here. How about it for Jagger Jones? And lots of smoke coming into the cockpit. They're thinking it was off the brakes here for the 20 car, but there are just cool names throughout every field, aren't there, guys?
Yeah, no, it's great storylines out here. Again, Steven, thank you for grabbing the interviews downstairs. As Tommy, we're taking a look again at the replay. That Highline, of all things, after all the years that we've seen that be the line to be in, tonight is not that night.
Yeah, very interesting. It's now claimed a few race trucks, all in the same class, unfortunately.
We're finally getting those trucks to make it out here, and we're having this happen. I don't know. But I'm still going to cross my fingers, hope that there's some way. This car bounded the wall, though. That was a big hit. A lot of work going to be needed done on the right front of this car. But, Tommy, one of those things about when this series was developed is we know the radiator was
in the back.
Out, so.
But it's the whole front end that I'm worried about.
Well, okay, but I wanted to paint this in a positive light.
I get it.
Way.
I get it.
Right, Bob? Have you ever knocked out a radiator, Bobby?
Yeah, back at 605 on the road course, kind of like what the Huddlestons did here for the Enduros.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the street stock, and again, it was those wooden walls, hit a hay bale and kind of went up and over the wall and wiped out the radiator. Dad was mad.
I'm baffled that you raced Enduros out here for as long as you have, and yet you had to think all the way back to 605 to like, did I knock out a radiator? I'm like, dang.
Well, I was thinking about when I took your guys' camera out in turn one when I hit the wall, and you're all, I think it was you, Jeffrey, you were saying, and there's no fluid coming from that car, and he's still going. And I couldn't see, and then ended up in turn two because the hood blew up, and then Tim was out there, and he couldn't put it back down, but no fluid.
There you go.
That's incredible. Yeah, considering you were airborne.
Yes.
Well, there is what remains of the purple truck. Number 13 on the door, number 96 on the transponder.
If Steven can hear me or if TJ is near Steven, we're going to break the rules even more.
Okay.
I'm going to have Steven stop Hunter, and we're going to have a chat.
Okay.
Because I want to hear what his perspective was. And they're going to be going right by him. So
the hard part's going to be Steven's going to have to stop the tow truck.
Hey, you know what? We're going to make it happen.
Steven,
I believe.
Just use your body as a barrier, and it might turn out fine. There's a lot of damage on that truck.
The front of the clip looks pretty good. It's hard to tell from this far, but
see that's
optimism right there. That's Bobby
positive.
optimism.
Yep, Bobby optimism.
You know, it's just as long as he didn't tear off any tabs or anything.
Are you going to go help him fix it?
No, but they're going to be wrenching all night.
Did you have Pinnacle Peak Steakhouse barbecue
I
yet?
did. It was outrageous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Always is.
I hope they left us some leftovers.
All right, I see Steven at the ready. I think we might get a word. Now, Steven's got to stop a tow truck and a truck connected to each other.
You got this. No rules, Steven. No rules. We're outlaws out here.
Yeah. What are they going to do? Kick us out? Well, hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah, the front clip's straight, but it might have tore off some tabs and stuff, and might be getting the welder out tonight.
Yeah. Not what we want on Friday night. All right, let's see.
This truck is used up, fellas.
All right, Steven, it's your show. Let's see if you can stop him.
I don't think the tow truck's going.
No, stop
tow truck.
Are you good? He gave me a big thumbs up, though. And he had some good flow going, too. I know we're on low budget TV, but he had a good flow there.
Steven, why did you not jump into the window of that truck to get the interview?
Think of what would Kevin Harvick do?
Oh, my God.
Think about what you're saying. A truck that looks like that is not a truck I'm jumping into.
Fine. We tried.
Good try, Steven. Keep away from the fence, by the way. Hey, is that Aaron Creed down there with you?
Yeah, is he hanging out?
I've got a lot of celebrities down here.
Yeah,
I've got Aaron Creed, the PR director for the Super Cup Stock Car Series. We're just having all kinds of fun down here, guys. That's the thing, though. It's kind of bittersweet because we're seeing so many great faces and people, but, hopefully a lot of these folks, we can get them to come out to Kern and some of our other West Coast races next year.
Talk to Aaron about his travel day yesterday.
Oh, okay. So I'm hanging out at Jason Galvin's house, and I'm getting text messages about the fog. And then I get a text message from this guy, from Aaron. You were supposed to land in Long Beach, but that is not what happened.
Yeah, I decided to choose Long Beach just because it was around the same price as LAX, and it saves a little bit of the traffic hassle. But, yeah, we're landing in the Long Beach. We're getting on the approach, and then 5 minutes later, he said, pilot comes on. He says, you might notice that we've gone past Long Beach, or we circled past Long Beach, and we're actually going to be landing in Ontario due to the poor visibility. So ended up landing in Ontario. My rental car was over in Long Beach, and had to wait. They bussed us over, but had to wait a good amount of time. And very long day yesterday coming from the East Coast. Woke up for work at 7 a.m. Eastern time and went to bed at probably what would have been about 4 a.m. Eastern time.
Well, and luckily it's not foggy like that here today, and hopefully not tomorrow. Now, really quick, you spend a lot of time around the big full-body stock cars with your Super Cup stuff. Even you were remarking at just how far things have come with the ARCA series and the speeds we were seeing today.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the power plants, too, under the hood, and they do great work on the ARCA Menards West cars and East cars, and with the Ilmore motors and the Roush Yates, there's just, and of course, with these teams that come to these ARCA West shows, they're, top-notch, doing this nearly full-time and everything. We're not talking about sometimes family-run teams and everything anymore. So, but yeah, just seeing how close they were in qualifying, though, despite the speed, and just seeing how close it's going to be a close one tomorrow. Yeah, and even though it's an exhibition, these guys are going all out, and it's because it's the last chance to win here at Irwindale Speedway.
Yeah, I think we're all feeling like that ARCA race tomorrow, guys. It's 9 cars, but if you're someone at home that maybe can get here and take one of those turn 4 seats, the burnout pad seats, you want to see this ARCA race. And of course, we're looking forward to the Pro Late Model heat races, but that ARCA field, they brought it here. Really big compliment to Jan's Towing for all their hard work. Also, big compliment to Kelly Souza and the Central Coast team. And of course, Schrader and Partridge and everybody at the High Point team. This is an all-star race, and we're really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And I just got to say that I need people to understand Long Beach is in Southern California, and he got rerouted all the way to Ontario, Canada.
That's a big difference.
And he had to bust all the way back.
I got a funny story about that. Since we're talking about Ontario, I was getting food at a layover stop somewhere across the country, and this lady goes, "Which flight are you on?" "Oh, I'm going to Ontario." "Oh, Canada, it's beautiful this time of year." I had 2 options. Option A, to go with it, or option B, to break her heart and say, "Oh no, it's Ontario, CA."
And you went with A.
I went with A. You're damn right I did. And you know what? I tried to put on my best Canadian accent. All the people in Ontario.
What, did you just say A after every sentence?
I did.
Did you?
And I'm pretty sure she knew when I walked away with my snack or whatever that I am full of baloney.
Yep, that's option A.
And that is Tommy.
I did.
Often going with option A.
Absolute true story. I went with option A. I'm not lying to you. I played it off because I was never going to see this lady again.
All right. Well, since we're talking about horror stories with travel, the 3 of us in here, and I know that this was a fun one that we all loved, was we were flying home from Indianapolis, and we were flying into Phoenix. And we had a connection to catch in Phoenix. And as we're coming in, we're watching the lightning show going, man, like there's a lot of lightning out there.
That looks cool.
And then we start going away from the lightning. And we're like, uh-oh. And we got rerouted to Vegas. And at that point, we had a decision to make. Do we stay on the plane that would then turn around and fly back to Phoenix, but likely have all of our flights missed, or do we just get a rental car and drive it? And
we drove it home.
We drove it.
I don't blame you.
It's only a couple hours. So. Might as well.
I do not fly into Phoenix anymore. I had a rough trip coming back from Michigan like you guys did from back east. And once we landed and got the connecting flight to come back to Ontario, Canada, well, California.
Yeah.
But we dropped like about 2,000 feet. It was really bad. I mean, I was actually looking out the window and watched the wing kind of flap up and down. And so
that's how the plane
away.
Starts to fly.
Yeah.
I know, but I stay away from Phoenix.
You're staying in the air. Yeah.
And since we're so close, I get to drive, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's funny how it's Ontario, Canada, or Ontario, CA.
So. Yeah, we're in trouble no matter what. because Canada also has a CA.
Do you know who does not fly at all? Tim Huddleston.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim Huddleston was in Indianapolis a couple of days ago having a road trip because he's not going to fly. They've had issues in the air where they thought that was the end of it, and never again. So he doesn't. Everywhere he goes, if he needs to go to Daytona Beach for a meeting or Charlotte, North Carolina, he's driving.
Well, I mean, he's proven that he's a pretty good driver.
Yeah.
But
and can get there quickly.
Yeah, it still takes a while.
The tires might not last the way he does burnouts,
That's
but
true.
That's true. Do you think he detaches the steering wheel from time to time on the freeway just to hold it out the window?
Right. While he's doing burnouts.
Well, we have moved on to our next race after the cleanup. Good job to the fire and safety crew. We're putting them to work here as we close in on the 10 o'clock hour. For those of you watching on the East Coast, thanks for sticking it out with us. It's already the 21st where you're at. But we're still going with the heat races here tonight, as expected. Now let me just double check my my little schedule thing here.
We can assume
that we're in a Western.
We are. We can assume some names, but there are also names that are missing.
Well, okay. And then I was going to say we just have a few just small heat races with the Pro Late models coming up.
Is that going to be our night?
According to mine, but I might have forgotten.
We might have forgotten, yeah.
So let's work our way through it here, Tommy. The number 8.
So that's traditionally Jeffrey Peterson.
Roy Earnhardt.
Ralph.
Ralph.
That's Ralph. You need to go to the NASCAR Hall of Fame, don't you?
Yeah, he does.
Hey, I know you corrected me, but I felt like Bobby piggybacked on you. It was of course it's Ralph. Tommy, Ralph Earnhardt, I don't think he's alive anymore. What are you talking about?
Well, he's not at the Hall of Fame, but he's got a plaque.
I'm just gonna move on. Jeff Williams in the number 28 is starting on the outside of row 1. How about Hans Bieler joining us here?
Oh, that's cool.
So I have
I don't think that's correct, but
I see 2 of Hans Bieler.
He drives the 2 typically, but not on a truck.
He does. I don't think that's it. I don't know. How about Tommy? I don't know.
It's going to be a good start.
We're green, absolutely. Through the gears.
Oh, Bobby. What are you doing up here?
Oh, I believe it.
Look, yeah, I don't blame you.
You guys are a blast.
We try.
We have fun.
We are really trying hard to become the next Mike Joy.
Yeah.
We just can't figure it out.
Uber professionals. Well, the trucks are dominating this race so far.
Now, if all these drivers have been paying attention, you do not want to go to the outside because it can't hold.
Yeah.
Through 3 and 4.
Yeah, would not recommend.
Now, I want to point this out. You see a lot of rubber in you don't see a lot of rubber in 1 and 2. You do see in 3 and 4. We're going to have to blame Formula Drift.
Because those
or Hot Pit.
That's drift rubber.
That's drift rubber. And it's turning into ice. I think Bobby Osmond nailed it on that assessment. The dew is coming in on that outside groove, and it is becoming an ice slick.
Good job, Bobby.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Well, Tommy, this is an interesting race.
It is. I would show you the scoring.
I know that Swampy Marsh is in the 55.
Mm-hmm.
I got that one. I have Robert Arevalo. No. Roy Earnhardt is in the 8. Sorry, it's been a minute since Robert's race.
No,
so
well,
now my brain's melting.
I was confused at first until you said that because it's got the rookie stripes, but Robert's been racing here for a couple years.
Yeah.
I think it's been the other rookies that he forgot to peel that part off.
Yeah, well, we have a good battle here for the 3rd position.
The last time Jeff Williams was here, and he's one of the top 20 winningest drivers here at Irwindale Speedway, but the last time he was here, we put a thumbnail on YouTube because he was in the air and sparking.
Yeah, he saw that thumbnail and he was reminded. He's like, this isn't how I want to make thumbnails.
That was right here at the start-finish line, wasn't it?
Sure was.
That's when you called Ryan Partridge a dork.
That is the same exact night, championship night.
We thought it was Andy Partridge driving the 20, and then it was Ryan Partridge driving the 20. And the only reason we figured it out was because the other Partridge, Andy, was walking in the flag stand.
It is a white flag. We'll get back to the 8, but throw our shout out real quick to Swampy Marsh back behind the wheel in the 55.
I give that shout out.
Did you?
We're falling apart.
Yeah, it is. It's getting late. It's in 9:56. There's
well,
Swampy.
The checkered flag's going to fly for the number 8. Now, Tommy, we've seen some people driving that truck.
Yep, it should be Jeffrey Peterson.
That's my guess.
But there's one guy that'll give us that answer in just a moment.
The mystery man. Stephen Blakesley going to uncover the unsolved mysteries of Irwindale Speedway.
We need Steven to come out with a jacket and tell us about unsolved mysteries. Tonight on Unsolved Mysteries, Stephen Blakesley will get us info.
He will. That's what he does.
Here he is. He's waiting, too. Watch this. Waving, and it's like this driver has been here before.
He's been to New York.
We don't do this on a regular, by the way. Steven?
Well, just about the winningest guy in California in stock car racing over the last couple of years wins the third and final heat race for the Spec Racers. Should line you up third for the main event tomorrow for Jeffrey Peterson. I know this track is super special to you. You've got a lot of chances this weekend with late models, ARCA cars, this pro truck here. How good's this piece?
This thing's amazing. Mike Kelperis, Dallas Langer, Stephen Flood, they worked their tails off on this thing, and we ran 6 main events this year in it, and we won all 6 of them. So just hats off to those guys. Just a true testament to what a really fast race truck those guys can build. And I'm just honored to be able to drive it. Obviously a very special weekend this weekend, bittersweet. I grew up here, man. I was here opening night when I was 8 years old. So it's really special to at least win a heat race. I know it's only a heat race, but to win something on the final weekend, definitely very special.
I'm sure you're looking forward to seeing 9,000 people up there.
That's gonna be insane, man. Huddleston, he always packs this place. I know they brought in some extra seating and stuff, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's just, it shows what hard work him and his crew do every week. And yeah, expecting 9,000 people tomorrow, it's gonna be insane. Traffic's gonna suck getting out of here, I can tell you that. But man, I'm all for it. All night long, let's go party.
I don't think anybody wants to leave. Great run tonight so far by Jeffrey Peterson. And we're starting to roll out some of the fastest stock cars we'll see all night and all weekend here with the super late models. Back up to you guys.
Thanks, Steven, and I want to thank Bobby Osmond for joining us up here. Bobby, we know you've got a car to pack up, so we're going to let you get going, but thanks for joining us.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm blessed enough to be able to pack it up in the trailer without too much damage, and I feel for the guys in the trucks, and they're going to be wrenching all night, but that's just part of racing, and we all really enjoy that. And Jeffrey and Tommy, I really appreciate the years I've been here, the last 5 years, and what you guys have done. And I do have a picture of you guys when you first started and where you guys are at now, and I'm going to get it printed out one of these days and get it autographed by you guys.
Awesome.
You guys are legends, and so I appreciate everything you guys have done.
Well, it's been great.
Right back at you, Bobby. And
yeah.
You know what? After this place shuts down, we'll just see you at another racetrack.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
We'll have to drink a 7-Up together.
All right.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you, Bobby. Good luck tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, you guys.
Bobby Osmond is going to go pack up his Enduro
He's
car.
going to go get another helping of Pinnacle Peak Steakhouse.
Yeah, he's he confirmed. Tommy, we are back to the big discussion, and that is transfer spots.
Not yet. Super lates, and then we battle for the transfers. Not whole.
You know what's funny is, wait, where am I sheet? I didn't even look up. You're right.
Super duper late models.
You and Steven have this show covered. I am hungry.
Well,
because you keep talking about Pinnacle Peak.
I know.
And guess what? I did not get. Did you get a plate?
No.
Tommy.
Jeffrey, we've been. What have we been doing?
I don't know. What are we doing? Why didn't we hand over our mics to people that know what they're talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
it is.
Man. Thank you for knowing what divisions are racing.
Well, once you see John Moore, Jeffrey, it all gets answered. John Moore, Mr. Excitement on the front row alongside the number 1 of Brian Herzog. And that's not the driver we typically see behind the wheel of that number 1. But Brian was one of the drivers that took the initial green flag here years and years ago. Dylan Capillo, the hitman, starts on inside of row number 2 with a 16 of Kenna Mitchell.
And then we round it all out with the 86. Tim Spurgeon joining us.
You can see the fog on the rear windows as these cars go into turn number 1.
It's cold. I'm curious what kind of temperatures we're actually looking at right now. But it's,
you can pull it up.
I'm gonna do that. It's supposed to be colder tomorrow. Are you excited about that?
Well, hopefully it's not as foggy, but we'll see.
Yes. All right. Super late models. This has been a division that has thrived here at this track in regards to its racing. Green flag is in the air for 8 laps of heat race action. We're going to go 3 wide with Dylan Capello on the inside. And this is what I mean by thrive. These cars and this track have just been a beautiful mesh. And John Moore wants to win. Capello is going to slide it up. And Herzog's going to lead lap number 1. So Herzog in the lead. Sideways is a 16. And around goes Tim Spurgeon in the 86. And I think he got away with it. He's got a little bit of damage over in turn 4. But while there is cosmetic damage, it's the same thing that we saw with the trucks. He got up high. I thought the 16 was going to be the one. Kenna Mitchell came close to losing it, but it was Tim in the 86 that ended up going around. That high line is treacherous, and the thing is it's probably going to stay that way tomorrow. So if you are going to be running that high line, be ready to hold on to it. Tim's car went for a full 360, and luckily, Tommy, as you're going to see here, while he did touch the wall, it could have been a lot worse. And there he goes around. Luckily, the front end didn't catch the wall as he went for that 360. Now, Tim does sit on the inside of the infield, just inside of turn 4. You see the 16 was the first one to get loose. Mitchell did a great job holding on. Spurgeon, on the other hand, was the one who goes for the spin. Interesting that we've seen it a number of times where you've got the car following another that's getting sideways be in trouble. But just goes to show, like we're talking about, these cool temperatures, that drift rubber. Again, Formula Drift coming out for their last show. That was in October. A ton of rubber laid down, as you can imagine, from the drift cars. And to add to the fun, I'm just saying, we have drift cars here tomorrow too. So what I'm saying is hold on.
Hopefully they can burn off the dew up top. Yeah, it is a treacherous high side here in 3 and 4.
2 laps complete, restart underway, and Dylan Capello wants that lead back. So now when they go side by side into this corner, I'm watching these cars on the outside line.
Yeah, you're nail biting now.
Do you think this is going to be an issue tomorrow, or do you think it's purely because of how cold it is racing as late as we are?
I think it's the humid air. Our really random few times that we have that coastal humidity, and tonight's the night. And the coolness. Oh, Capello under the wall.
Oh, hard hit for Dylan Capello.
Oh, man, what a rocket ship that has smacked the wall.
And that car is in trouble.
Just like that, how quickly it can snap loose on you.
So 2 super late models now with
that one's going to need
damage. This one's significant. So Dylan Capello went into turn 3, got up in the rubber. If you are about to race in the pro late models, or you know someone who is, maybe relay that high line is not where you're going to want to run.
Taking a look at the replay. And he goes, I feel like it's above the stripe, the dotted lines up top. And that's where you lose it.
And Tommy, you'd mentioned earlier in the show that we had another super late model that had issues over in this corner as well, Doug McComb. So maybe we're seeing what happened to Doug.
That was on corner exit, but these have been all on the entry.
That's a lot of damage.
It is. The hitman, Dylan Capello, not wanting to bend up his race car in this treacherous weather here tonight.
And where a lot of the other cars that have had damage, there's Dylan climbing out.
This is him. I think he smacked the roof to give perspective. I'll back it up a little bit more. Or maybe I was seeing things. I smacked the roof for him. All right, now we're going to Dylan live as they're picking up the race car. Tough break. That outside is slick. So Dylan Capello going to be getting that super late model picked up.
All right, folks. Well, we did get an update here, and we're going to err on the side of caution on this one. Effectively, while we're not going to have, well, here's the update. We're not going to have the heat races for the Pro Late models. They are going to start as they qualified. The good news, we've had qualifying.
Yep.
So we had a competitive run to set the starting lineup. There's 29 of those cars geared up and ready to race. All of them will start the race tomorrow, and yeah, this was just one of those calls where at this point we've seen so many issues over in that corner with the combination of weather and whatnot. We are heat racing. There's nothing on the line but just the starting lineup, and we want to make sure that we don't lose any more cars headed into tomorrow. So probably the safer call, Tommy, especially we've now made it to past 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and I don't think we're really worried about a curfew, but we are definitely worried about bending up any more race cars here tonight. So that'll be a wrap. We don't have a need for B mains. As far as the Pro Late models, we're going to start them all. And Steven, do you have any final thoughts for tonight?
Real quick, guys, got a good look at Capello's car rolled by. The front was not too damaged. Didn't look like he had hurt the clip on the front. But the rear is pretty severe, so that's going to be the issues there for Capello, and I'd be pretty surprised if he's able to keep going with the way the rear looked.
Well, thanks for the update there, Steven, as that's going to be a wrap on tonight's portion of racing. I'm wondering if there is a bit of a sigh of relief for the Pro Lates, if they're like, okay. Now obviously, we were looking forward to the heat race stuff, but just from what we've been seeing, again, we're going to err on the side of caution on this one. There's no reason for us to destroy any more cars, especially on a night like tonight where we are setting the fields. We have a qualifying session that has already done that, and we have, again, it's after 10 o'clock in an event that we thought might end by 8.
Well, it's time for us to go get Pinnacle Peak Steakhouse Barbecue.
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty left.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you all for being with us here tonight. It was a bit chaotic at times, and it ended a bit chaotic here at Irwindale Speedway. But tomorrow is the finale, the final main events of the history of Irwindale Speedway. And for those of you tuning in online, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you can hear our voice and you're making your way to Irwindale Speedway now, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And if you're looking for something to do, we'll see you tomorrow at Irwindale Speedway.
You all have a good night. Bring some tissues tomorrow. We don't know if you're going to need them to just blow your nose or wipe away some tears, but it's probably going to be a little bit cold. As we've seen, it's going to be interesting. It is the finale, Extravaganza, from Irwindale Speedway, December 21st. We will see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.